It's after a tanker believed to be carrying fuel derived from Russian oil docked in Western Australia, south of Perth. And after 7 decades, Australia's longest-running copper mine has shut down. Northwest Queensland's Glencore operations at Mount Isa produced millions of tonnes of ore during its heyday. Coming up, SEN Sport. Leek Alir has been recalled for the Giants match against the Bulldogs. So too Harvey Thomas and Harry Ralston. No changes for the Doggies. Tennis, Alexander Vukic is through to the Canadian Open's round of 32 after defeating Brit Cam Norrie 2-1. Fellow Aussie Chris O'Connell takes on Stefanos Tsitsipas this morning. Alex de Minaur also in action.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Good morning, wherever you may be, right around the country. 8:04am Eastern, Thursday, the 31st of July. Nearly the end of the racing season. We saw some results finish up yesterday. We'll discuss them throughout the show as we do it all, thanks to Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Miles Pfitzner with you, filling in for Gareth Hall, who, by the looks, was at Goodwood last night. I'm not sure if it's confirmed he was at Goodwood, but certainly active on social media in regards to the Goodwood races. We saw Carl Speckler go under, to be expected, but we also saw a pacemaker get up. We saw some interesting results over there at Goodwood, and that will continue. All thanks to Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. Massive show that Louis has put together this morning. Very shortly, Troy Corstens will join me, and I'll run through their runners on the weekend. We go from Troy Corstens into Graham Begg. After the 8:30 news, Michael Hawkes, Bjorn Baker and Peter Snowden. And then just after 9 o'clock, we'll head west and have a chat to Dan Pearce. We're waiting on confirmation back. We might have a chat to Johnny Hickmott after his horse, Francis Boy, got his win 20 at start 150 yesterday. Then a massive edition of Bag of Tips. We'll run through that. 9:30, Kanga will join me in studio and we'll discuss all things happening at the MRC in the spring close ahead. It'd be good to chat with Kanga. And then for the weekend preview, Ben Calusi will join us from Bet365 and he'll join myself and Dean Watling and then into Mitch Lewis, of course, and we'll round out the show around about 11 o'clock. Any questions on any horses? 0499 736 736. You know the rules. You text them in. We'll do our absolute best to answer them. It is time for Stable Mail.
Now on Giddy Up, it's time for Stable Mail.
Who better to kick off Stable Mail than a man I always love to chat to? His name is Troy Corstens and he joins me on the line. Good morning, Troy.
Hey, Miles, how are you?
Very well, thank you, mate. Very well. Hey, you must be pretty happy with how the season went for you.
Yeah, we had a terrific season. It obviously the last sort of 10 weeks has really capped it off nicely, and we had a few group winners. We've had a great season. It's been good.
Yeah, I've certainly enjoyed following your horses, and you've certainly got a couple of horses on the weekend that are right in and amongst it. Just before we get to the Saturday runners, you've got a couple going to Cranny on Friday in Super Live and Guangzhou. Are they going to go there, or are you going to maybe save Guangzhou over for Sunday and maybe Super Live to Hamilton Saturday?
No, we'll run them, I think. The Super Live I've been scratching about 65 times because of bad barriers, but I'll have a chat to Shane Morrissey, who owns her today. I'd say we'll be running, and Guangzhou will take his place as well.
Let's move into your Flemington runners. We'll start with Flemington race number 4. You've got the 7 Subliminal, goes first up here. You draw 8 for Jet Stanley.
Yeah, down the straight is going to be quite interesting. We did have her in the 1200 on the same day, and then just had a look at the 1100. Thought that might suit a little bit better with not such a big field. She was terrific, her first up effort, last preparation, and it just went a little bit sideways, the prep. So we stopped her, reset her, gave her a really good spell. She's back now, and she's going particularly well. I think whatever she does on Saturday, she will improve on into the campaign. Let's
move to race number 6. I've really loved how this horse has gone about it. Troy Zoo sensation for the Bennett Racing team. They do a great job at Bennett Racing. Put the last couple together, beating, I think, pretty reasonable fields, especially that last race with El Rocco, Yellow Sam, and then you had Keep You Cool and Moby Dick in the race before that, putting a really nice sort of preparation together. Is there one query that this horse is the track?
I'm not worried about the track, to be honest, Miles. The one query for me is the barrier.
Yeah.
But the horse is absolutely flying. I'm just a little drawn 10 of 11. It's just really, really hard. He is a horse that if he does overdo it, it sort of takes away from his finish. But if we can get some cover, and if Jamie can get him in nicely, he's flying. He's absolutely flying, this horse, but he is going to need a little bit of luck.
Troy, how deep do you think you can go with a horse like this? I know that, it's 1 week at a time, but if you would certainly have a race in mind or something that if you could come here and maybe take care of them here, that sort of not too far away, there might be a few races you might be able to pick off.
Spot on. If he wins Saturday, Miles, we're definitely going to sort of target a Rupert Clark, because quite often you see these lovely fit horses coming out of winter, and we've never ever thought that he was just a winter horse. We've always thought that he was a group horse. He's had a wind operation, which probably does hold him back that little bit. But if he can keep this little string going together, that will be his target.
Yeah, it certainly looks hard to beat in race number 6, and you've got a great hand in race number 7 over the 1200. This is the Ori Star. We'll start with number 3, Lady in Pink. You draw the inside here for Benny Allen and go first up once again, and a little bit of market movement early for the horse.
Is it? Yeah, okay. I love this filly. I think she's going to be a real spring contender, obviously, going into this quite underdone, but a nice kick-off point, and look for her over the next 3 or 4 runs.
You weren't afraid to give this horse a bit of a run. The run in behind Zlotys in the Queen of the South, the Group 2 back in April, has been in and around some pretty handy horses. I mean, you ran 3rd in the Matriarch behind Hinged. I mean, she's got a lot of upside.
Yeah, well, and 2nd in the Ballarat Cup, obviously, to Berkeley Square. And her second, that run to Zlotys, she was extremely unlucky. She gave Zlotys a stack of weight, did all the work out in front, and she's a mare that's got real talent. We've got her lovely and sound at the moment, and we're trying to get her deep into the spring, so this is a nice little kick-off point.
Anything maybe in mind for her, or a trip in mind for her? Maybe pet distance?
Yeah, pie in the sky stuff. We're trying to get her to the Caulfield Cup.
Beautiful. I'd love to see that horse in a Caulfield Cup. Let's get to a horse that just keeps putting the picket fence together. The last 3 here at Flemington has just been nothing short of superb. This horse has been fantastic for you, mate. Marble 9, Liam Reardon in the saddle, who I think's probably had not a breakout season, but a far better season than maybe he gets some credit for, and you draw 11.
He's matured well, Liam, and he's working really hard, which I think is his greatest asset at the moment. He's working closely with Simon Marshall, who, as you know, is one of the greatest of all time, especially with his seat and his placement of horses. So I think that's a big advantage for Liam. Marble 9, he's going really well, Miles. I went away when he won his last way. I was on holidays, and Will contemplated tipping him out, but he just came through the run so well. So we are going into our 10th run for the preparation, but there's no reason whatsoever not to run him.
Let's move to race number 8, and you've got another one that's at a live chance here in Hill Rip. Ryan Houston, who is a gun young apprentice at the moment. I think the claim will kick in here beautifully. Gate 9 looks a soft enough draw for this horse.
Yeah, good. I would have loved to just draw a little bit better with him, but the horse is going particularly well. Ryan knows him. He rode him 2 starts back and rode him well. I think we get him terrific with the weight, and he's a great each-way chance.
If I gave you $100, Troy, I know Gareth likes to ask the trainers, but if I gave you $100, how would you be spending that at Flemington on the weekend?
I'd probably go straight to the bar and shout my mate for
Yeah, I would too. That's right up my alley. Are you leading towards maybe Zoo, or do you think that Marble 9 in race 7 maybe one of your better hopes?
No, you know what? I'll go with Zoo Sensation because he is absolutely flying, and I think that Jamie will give him the run that he needs, and he can keep going with his run.
True. While I've got you on, no doubt there's probably a horse that is not far away from the races or that we're going to see pop up during the spring. Have you got anything else we need to keep an eye on in the stable?
Watch Barrakiel.
Yeah, well, where's Barrakiel at?
He'll head to the car line at the end of the month. We wasn't fantastic last Saturday, but we had a terrific conversation and meeting with RVL yesterday. Protocols will be going into place, and he'll be taking his place at Moonee Valley.
Does he have another gear where he can maybe sit sort of off the speed or worse than midfielder? Or you think the better the better that horse is, the more it's when he's rolling out in front?
Oh, no, I definitely think he's got a terrific turn of football, so I'd love to see him sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th back, and with a little bit of cover, I reckon he'll be explosive.
Yeah, always love following your horses, mate, especially when you team up with the Bennett Racing team as well. Congratulations on the season you had, but it looks like you're about to kick the season off in fine style also, mate. Always appreciate your time, and best of luck this weekend. We'll chat throughout the spring.
Thanks, Miles.
Troy Corstens there, absolute ripper. Got a big hand, huge hand on the weekend. And Zoo Sensation, Marble 9, Lady in Pink, keep an eye on it. And like we said, that run in the Group 2 matriarch when you go back was handy enough to put it in contention for a few races. And Hill Rip's not out of it either in race number 8 on the Flemington card. But $100 for Troy, going straight on Zoo Sensation. Horses absolutely flying. What we are going to do, we're going to clear our first break here on Stable Mail. Graham begged to join me on the other side of this, and I might also ask him on a couple of horses like King Zephyr, Zlotys and Neons. Back in a moment.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Here comes the Star, who's peppering away, and they were followed by Terra Star and Splashback still coming. It might not be over. Sassy Boom stopping. Splashback from third last has got up. Oh, that's a big win. Splashback has won.
Yeah, Splashback comes back. Not over all right, Matty Hill. The best in the business. The trainer of Splashback and the trainer of many, many other good horses that we love to have here on SEN Track is, of course, Graham Begg, and he joins me on the line this morning. Good morning, Graham.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Graham, always good to chat to you. Before we get stuck into a few of your runners on the weekend, I want to ask you on a couple of horses first that we get the text machine here at SEN Track lights up all the time about a few of these. The first one, though, is, am I correct in saying Zlottie's been sold?
No, Zlottie's been retired.
Retired, yep. So Zlottie's
retired. No, she's going to stud this season.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, she was getting ready for the Tats Tiara, and she went wrong, and we had to pull up.
Beautiful. Let's move on to a couple of others, though. The trial perverts would have seen Royal Insignia, and this Written Tycoon colt looks like he's got a hell of a lot of upside, Graham. How's Royal Insignia going?
Yeah, no, he's going particularly well. He had a jump out at Pakenham last Tuesday, over 1,000 metres, and moved very nicely through his gears. Hopefully he'll get a run in the Regal Roller. That'll be a start-off point for him. You've got to bear in mind this horse doesn't like any rain-affected ground, so he's much more effective up on top of the ground. So we'll just have to play it by ear how things shape up each week. So when he goes back to the races, but that's the start-off point for him.
Have you got him pinned as a sort of a 12 to 1,400 horse, or is he a genuine miler?
Oh, no, I think 12 to 1,400. I think we went through the process last preparation. Obviously, there were only 3 once, and, Guineas was on, and, the 2 runs he had past 1,200 metres, he didn't have a lot of luck in either race. He struck a wet track at Flemington, and it was a bit of a dodgy track on that day, and then we ran him in the Guineas, and he drew the outside gate, and it was just a horror watch for him. He had to go back too far out of his ground and just couldn't get into the race, But look, we'll keep him at the shorter distances, and I'm sure he'll be right to the fore.
Another horse that the punters absolutely love is Neonce, Graham, this 5-year-old Swiss ace mare. Ace Bloodstock and the team have been pretty happy. I was there trackside with a few of them when she won at Caulfield one day. Looks a really nice little mare.
Yeah, no, she's got a good record and still very progressive. She had a little jump out yesterday over at Caulfield on the course proper. They jumped out from the 2,000 metre chute and went up the back straight and just over half a mile. The ground was a bit ordinary, obviously this time of year. So we elected just to sit on her. We didn't do too much on her, and she just went through a nice, comfortable jump out. She'll follow up in 2 weeks' time on the 13th and have another jump out at Caulfield. There's a set there on the Heath track over 900 metres, and she'll go there, and then we'll set her up for a race.
Have you sort of got her pinned as, like, she was genuinely listed in Group 3 grade all over, but she could knock a Group 2 off or maybe even sneak into a Group 1 somewhere, in my opinion? Well,
hopefully that will be the case. Look, we've got a couple options with her. There's a race at Caulfield on the 30th, a race called the Heath, 1,100 metres. It's a stakes race, but we can wait the week after and give her a chance to run in the Moya Stakes. Look, she's got a very good first-up record, and I'm sure she won't be out of place. Obviously, either race she runs in.
Yeah, certainly looks like she likes the speed on too, and can sort of sit off them. The other one that captured a lot of the punters' eyes is King Zephyr. I know Sammy Hyland was pretty keen on tipping this horse every time it went around, putting a really nice record together, 5 from 7, King Zephyr.
Yeah, that's correct. He also went over to Caulfield yesterday, had his first little jump out back this time round, and he'll follow the same pattern where he'll have another one on the 13th on the Heath track, and then we'll make a decision where we run him after that. There's a couple of races. We can either go back to a benchmark style race, or we can keep him in a listed graded race. So we'll work that out as we go along. Obviously,
His last start was a blemish on his record, but he struck a wet track on the day and a deteriorating track.
Yeah.
And he was down on the inside, so he wasn't seen to advantage on that day. So hopefully he can turn that around.
Graham, you're as good a judge as any. I know a lot of people can get carried away in the winter with where they rank horses or where they sit with what grade they are. He looks like he's got more in front of him, but how good do you think he actually is?
Well, I don't think we've got to the bottom of him yet. So I think the thing is with him too is just really trying to work out his right distance range. He's won at 1,400 metres, but he might be a pretty good sit back and run home type over 1,200 metres in a fast run race. So, but he's certainly got a very good record, the horse, and he's got a good will to win.
Let's move to your runners. I might even start. Are you going to take those Empire of Pain and Playlist? Do they go to Cranbourne tomorrow?
Well, yes, Empire of Pain will kick off tomorrow in a Class 1 over 1,200 metres. Probably still a bit of an unsuitable distance for her. But I just wanted to get a run under her belt before we stepped her up in Journey. So it looked the right style of race for her. Look, she's only had the 2 starts and she won, by a big space. Her last start over 1,500 metres. So she looks like she's got good ability. Certainly whatever she does tomorrow she can improve on, but I'm sure she won't be far away.
Is Playlist going to get a run?
Well, that'll be the trick for her, getting a start. So she's first emergency. She does like a bit of sting out of the ground, so if she gets a run, I'm sure she'll run well. Let's
go to race 3 at Flemington on Saturday. You've got the 6 de Bergerac. A lot of people were with this horse last start, but put in a really good run still, I thought, beaten by La Fracas, which was just an enormous win from the back of the field. But you must be pretty pleased with how this horse is going.
Yeah, look, he's going really well, this horse. So he was well placed last start. He had a big drop in weight and back on a much better surface than what he experienced at Sandown. As I said, he had a big weight drop. So he's back to a 74 graded race this Saturday. 1,200 metres up the straight looks really suitable to him. He's going very well, so we'd expect him to run very well again on Saturday.
Race 7 in the Ori Star, you've got Splashback putting a really nice preparation together. The win at Caulfield in the 78, then you moved to the benchmark 90 and took care of them there. Now a crack at some of the bigger boys. You happy with the draw in 9?
I think it's an ideal draw for her. She can just sit back off behind them, see how things shape up. Seems to be a good little bit of speed around her. Probably she'll feed off a little bit off Marble 9. Obviously the Hayes runner, Joyful winner, I think it is. He's down on the inside. He's got good speed, but I'm sure that she'll be very well suited.
Graham, if I gave you $100 on the weekend, how would you spend it other than shouting a few owners a drink? Splashback, 100 the win. Graham, is there any other horse that I've failed to mention to you? I know I've put you under the grill this morning. Have you got something that we haven't seen at the races yet, maybe hiding somewhere that might surprise us in the spring?
Not really. We've got a really nice progressive filly called Biologics who had 1 start and 1 at Pakenham. Put up a really good performance. So she's a filly you've got to keep your eye on. So, yeah, looking forward to her going back to the races.
Graham, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck on the weekend and looking forward to following your horses right throughout the spring. You place them, in my opinion, as good as anyone in the country. So best of luck, mate, and thanks for your time again.
Thanks for your kind words. Thank you.
Graham Begg there. Go back and look at some of the record of these horses. Unbelievable. The placement is patient, places them in the right races, right gates, right races, right pilots. Everyone knows I'm a big Geordie Childs fan. But go and have a look at some of the strike rate of these horses, sort of wins to starts. They are superbly placed by Graham Begg. I'm not sure there wouldn't be anyone that would argue that anywhere in the country. And maybe make sure that you put Biologics in your book somewhere. Not far away from the 8:30 news. Still to join me on the show, Michael Hawkes, Bjorn Baker and Peter Snowden. We'll ask Peter about where King of Rosso's going. We'll see that King of Rosso might make a difference in the 2 races, whether it goes Sydney or Melbourne on the weekend. If you've got any questions for Michael, for Bjorn or for Peter, get them in on 0499 736 736. That's 0499 736 736. This is Stable Mail for Bet365. Don't forget Top Tote Plus. Our Bet Boost horse went under yesterday, so I think our record of the Bet Boost horses, we're 1 win with Mitchie. We went under with Dino and Gano. And do we have a Bet Boost horse today, or do we do that on Saturday? We'll have one today. Maybe it might be my turn to pick one. I'll take the hard days. Yeah, yesterday was meant to be easy, wasn't it? What about that? The $200,000 for the quaddie, unbelievable. Couple of texts in already. Yes, Lottie's was listed as exported, yep, or retired, Damo. Morning, Milo. I've enjoyed having you on this week. Morning run through Port Adelaide this morning. Thanks for the entertainment and content. Well, be careful running through Port Adelaide. Depends what part you're running through. Because if you're running through the good part, good morning to you. And there's a couple of other parts there through Port Adelaide I wouldn't be running through. And if you are running through there, I'd be going absolutely flat out. That's for sure. A few people asking about the horses that I should have asked Graham Begg about. I think I ticked them all off. But for Michael, we'll be running through Airman, Briasa, Nepotism, Björn, we're going to talk about Overpass, Steffi Magnetica, Rapaho and that trial of Perfumist. And I'll definitely be asking Peter Snowden about Beedman. But if you've got any others that you want some questions on, text them in 0499 736 736. Miles Pfitzner with you, filling in for Gareth Hall. It is news time on your Thursday morning. We'll be back on the other side of this with the better Hawks, Michael Hawks.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News headlines. Economists believe slowing inflation is evidence enough for the Reserve Bank to cut interest rates when the board meets next month. The Trump administration accused of placing a low diplomatic priority on Australia. A US ambassador to Canberra is still yet to be named. The peak body for Zionist organisations in Australia calls on Israel to allow aid to flow into Gaza. And Jimmy Barnes has announced a Working Class Man tour to mark 40 years since the hit song was released, kicking off in November. Up next, sen.com.au sport. Leek Alir has been recalled for the Giants match against the Bulldogs. So too Harvey Thomas and Harry Ralston. No changes for the Doggies. Tennis, Alexander Vukic is through to the Canadian Open's round of 32 after defeating Brit Cam Norrie 2-1. Fellow Aussie Chris O'Connell takes on Stefanos Tsitsipas this morning. Alex de Minaur also in action.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. 8:33am Thursday morning right around the country. Miles Pfitzner filling in for Gareth Hall thanks to the team at Bet365. We'll have a chat to Ben Calusi from Bet365 in a while. Imagine what you could be buying instead. Always a pleasure to chat to this man because we can just talk sense and get serious. I speak of Michael Hawks and he joins me. Good morning, Michael.
Miles, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you this morning, my friend? Things going well up there?
Things are going great. A little bit wet. We've had lovely 30 mils of rain in the last 24 hours here at Rose Hill. So, yeah, couldn't be happier.
We're expecting that track to be pretty soft there on Saturday, aren't we?
Oh, it's going to be pretty heavy, mate.
Yeah.
It's, put it this way, a bit of the worst side of heavy, let's just say.
Hey, I want to talk about your stable star, trialled the absolute house down. Don't worry about Briasa and Nepotism. We'll get to them. Airman, my absolute favourite, this horse. It looked like a pretty good trial in behind Passagiata and Tenderise.
Yeah, he went super. He just jumped, got in a lovely rhythm, and he really wanted to attack the line under his own esteem, and he's actually going really good. If anything, he's come back bigger, stronger, better. He's just probably fully matured now, and hopefully he can just take that next step up and get to those better races, and who knows where he might end up.
You placed him to perfection when he won the Premier, the Group 2 Premier. It was about the only start I got off, but the boys that are in the horse texted me straight afterwards and said, surely you got it all back. And no, I was off. But I still thought pretty good in the Sydney Stakes after that. But he looks like he's got another one or two good ones in him if the penny just drops.
Well, it has. The penny has just dropped, and as I said, he's a lot more mature now. He's trialled really well for his first trial, and look, he's going to head towards those races. And he's proven last time he's up with him, put it that way, winning a Premier Stakes at weight for age and beat the so-called better horses going into the Everest in that time. So there's no point why he can't perform at his best again at that level. Let's talk nepotism. I think there's only about 2 guys in the whole station that had him identified early without talking to Wayne. But this looks a really, really nice horse. You must be super happy with the crop that you guys have got coming through at the moment. Yeah, we've only got a small crop this year, but there's only, there's 5 Group 1 2-year-old races, and we won 2 of them with 2 different colts and another 2 colts to stud, and that's what we love doing, and everyone out there loves doing it. But when you're small like we are now, we don't have the massive numbers like we do. We just thrive on quality, and it's certainly a lovely thing to have in your stable, a couple of nice colts like Devil Knight and Nepotism, but they're both back in, they're both well, can't fault them, and looking forward to their preps going forward.
Have you, you sat down with John and Wayne and sort of gone, righto, this is where we'd love to get? I know with these sort of younger horses, it becomes a week-to-week sort of process, but is there something in mind that people can look forward to maybe seeing a couple of them?
Devil Knight's sort of headed towards the Cornwall, obviously at the latter part of the spring, but he'll kick off here in Sydney. And Nepotism, well, he'll head towards, the Golden Rose, Caulfield Guineas and those sort of races. So that's the logical option for those 2 colts, and just trying to get that lovely Group 1 again against their name as 3-year-olds.
Is Nepotism going to be peak mile? It's like it looks like 14 or 16 doesn't really bother him, but is it peak at the mile?
Oh, look, he could even run further, but he's just such a lovely, relaxed colt. And look, everyone saw his win in the Champagne. It was ridiculous what he did. So he's come back good. He's a racehorse. He wants to be a racehorse, but he's relaxed, and that's what he is. But he always has been, Miles. So look, that'll hopefully stand him in good stead. He definitely, we know he runs the mile, but on his pattern, who knows, he might run a bit further.
And it's good news for the Brutal shareholders, of course.
100% it is. Well, look, he's by a sire of our size that we sent to stud, and Brutal won at Doncaster, his 7th start. It's quite ridiculous, really, what he done, and then his son's gone and done it himself. So, look, the Brutal are flying at the moment. Look, so are the Exceedances, and they're just a couple of look-quality stallions that we've had through the barn, and looking forward to their progeny. Yeah, I'm looking forward to more of the Ole Kirks, Exceedances, Brutals, you name it. I know where I'll be sending my mare. I'll just be messaging Wayne to try and get in somewhere. Hey, mate, we've got a few runners on the weekend. I won't bother you too much with the ones at Flemington, but Rose Hill, we've got Diami in race number 5. You've drawn 5 here for Dylan Gibbons. Yeah, he's really good. He's probably looking like he wants a wet track, and I think, he's definitely going to get it Saturday, so I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. Obviously, at Warwick Farm there, he performed really good on an average surface, so he's going really good. He's a lovely horse. He's a progressive horse, and just look, the truth, he really wants a wet track, so he's definitely going to get that. Speaking of wet trackers, this horse looks like it eats it up. Race 8, number 9, Liberty State. We've had a stack of text messages saying, hey, Miles, I'm loving the show. Can you ask Michael Hawkes about Liberty State on the weekend? We think it'll handle the track, and I think it's a good horse. We've had about 3 of them. Yeah, she is. She won really good first up. You don't probably see many wins like that on the day, 3 wide, no cover, and then 5 deep on the corner and still win at big odds. And we thought she'd run, extremely well that day, and she just really wants a wet track, and she's definitely going to get that. She's a mare that's really come to hand. She's 5-year-old, she's 6-year-old tomorrow, but in saying that, she's taken time, and that's what we're just finding this day and age. The breeds are just, horses just need time to mature, and that's what she's really done. So she's actually really starting to hit her peak now, which is great. So, no, there's no reason why she can't win again, that's for sure. Then you've got Zondi in race number 9. It looks like the horse does its better work maybe with 1 run under its belt as well. How are you finding Zondi here in this? He's really good. Trials were great. He's probably he gets through the wet. I wouldn't say he loves it, to be honest. And look, whether he runs Saturday or not, we'll just have to wait and see how the track does play out. But he gets through it, doesn't love it. He's actually going really good this time. He's probably a lot bigger, stronger, more mature. His runs were really good last prep, and I can't really fault him. He's hoping for a nice prep this time round, but it's probably a little bit unfortunate that we may have struck a heavy track for him first up, but we'll just wait and see.
You've got Aura, Billund, probably Terra Star at Flemington, then Diami, Liberty State and Zondi at Rose Hill. If I gave you $100, Michael, how would you be spending it?
Probably Liberty State, I would think, Miles. She's probably one that's going to thrive in the wet, and she's fit, she's good, and she just keeps improving.
Mate, looking forward to following the stable throughout the spring. Thanks for your time as always, mate. Go well, and best of luck with the runners.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Michael Hawkes there, absolute ripper, generous with his time. And we'll just let you know everything that you need to know about the horse. But, geez, haven't they had a good run with turning colts into stallions and then back with their progeny. Quick break. Just the good trainers and the good blokes continue. Bjorn Baker to join me on the other side of this.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Stable Mail 8:45. The show goes on. Louis done a great job putting this together. I always love chatting to this bloke, and every time I've spoken to him, the stable's just getting better and better and better and better. His name is Bjorn Baker, and he joins me. Bjorn, good morning, mate.
Yeah, morning, Miles. Thanks to have you on. It's, I'll tell you what, bit of an upgrade from the normal host too, eh?
Hey, well, I'm across most of your horses here. I've got a list of about 40. Now, 3.5 years ago when I was talking to you, there was 1 or 2. Then 2 years ago, there were 3 or 4 of your stars. Now you've got about 15 of the bloody things. I don't know where to start. We're going to go to Within the Law, mate. I love this horse.
Yeah, I must say. So it was good to see her back at the trials on Tuesday, and she went well. She's very much a race day horse. So she'll have another trial probably the 11th of August, and then hopefully go to the Silver Shadow first up on the 23rd. But I'd love to go through the Filly Series, maybe a race like the Flight Stakes. Maybe we can get her down to Melbourne. And yeah, she's definitely a very genuine filly, and she really puts on 100%. So she's been a bit of a revelation last season, and another good one for Derby.
There's always a slight question mark when they sort of change it in age groups, but doesn't look like there's much of a question mark around this one.
Yeah, there is. I must say, you're always a little bit, I guess, anxious they come back as good. If not, hopefully better as they get older and more mature. But she, if anything, definitely is a little bit bigger and stronger. She didn't have a big break, but I think she did well in that break. So from that point of view, we've got a little bit more confidence.
A couple little off-Broadway that I want to ask you on out of those trials. Arapaho trial looks solid enough, but gee whiz, Perfumist, I mean, they didn't have the brakes on.
No, yeah, it was a little bit, the margins were probably exacerbated up against a lot of stayers in that trial in particular, but she's a promising filly. She really, she put it together last preparation and was exciting the way she went through the grade. So possibly looking at running her Saturday week, and even a side would nominate her. But would love to get her to a race maybe like the Golden Eagle down the line. She's going to have to do a bit more, but she's very exciting, and Arapaho, hopefully we can get down to the Cup. I think he's going better than ever. He's definitely bigger, stronger and more powerful. He's going to be a 9-year-old tomorrow, so he's as old as me, and I'm definitely improving with age. Hopefully he can too, so I'm pretty confident he can measure up with the best of them.
Hey, another couple here I want to ask you about. How's Steffi Magnetica going? Fan favourite here at SEN Track.
Yeah, she's great. She's going to trial on Tuesday at Randwick, so really looking forward to getting her back. And she's had, I pinch myself, she's had 4 wins. A maiden at Wellington, 5 hours from Sydney, a benchmark 58 at Orange, and then she's won the 2 biggest handicaps in the country, the Doncaster and the Stradbroke. So it just shows you there are no rules with some of these horses, and she's been actually at times really unlucky as well. No doubt her win record should have been much better than what it is, but she's won 2 of the majors, so I'm confident she's going as well as ever too. She's a little bit bigger and stronger, and actually her coat is great. In the autumn we really struggled getting her as healthy looking as we wanted, and even before the Doncaster, her coat looked terrible, especially for one of mine, and it doesn't seem to stop her, but hopefully there may be some improvement there.
Yeah, they might rename the Wellington Boot the Wellington Magnet after Steffi had been out there. What about Overpass?
He's in good order. He'll go to Everest Day fresh up into the Sydney Stakes, which he won last year. He might be half a chance to get into the Everest, depending on what happens. Obviously, we know he's a much better horse fresh up and on a reasonable track. He can handle a little bit of cut, but overall, he had a great year last year. Went to the Winterbottom. We'll probably follow that up. If did get wet during Sydney Spring, we may even consider bringing him down to the Manikato first up too. So there's a couple of options. He'll only probably run twice in the spring, though. We've learned the hard way. He's definitely better fresh and better on good track.
I know the Everest is a big carrot, but we're looking at that this could be the most competitive Everest we've nearly ever seen. Does that then deter you, or does that not really come into it?
No, you got to back yourself, and like he was super in the TJ Smith, which is the best form race for the Everest. That's at Randwick. It's over 1,200, and he was just beaten in the last sort of 20 metres there. So when he's right, he's very good. He's right up to it. You've got Kar Ying Rising, who's going to have to travel a different jurisdiction. It's hard to do. And not too many horses have been able to do that successfully, and it is a little bit horses for courses. So you're always happy to take on foreigners. You've seen it in the Melbourne Spring Carnival. Often the more highly touted they are, the worse they've performed in the Melbourne Cup. It's not necessarily like for like, and I've had a lot of business with Hong Kong over the years, and I think I've sold superstars up there at various times. They haven't won a race, and then I've sold what I consider ordinary horses that are going to struggle, and they've done exceptionally well. So you never quite know. You never do know, and no doubt he's a superstar, what he's done. If he brings that form, he'll win, but he's got to bring that form. One
off the text here, Deal and Dash. How's Deal and Dash?
He's a really promising horse. He goes back into pre-training next week. He's only had, I think, the 3 runs for me. He's very good first up over a mile. A son of Dundeel, and he's got a big frame, and he's had plenty of time. He was very unlucky in the Tulloch Stakes. I think if he'd got clear early, he probably would have won that. And then he's just had a couple of niggles, so he'll be back soon. He's a horse to watch out for the new season.
Bjorn, I've got Star Deal Highlights and War Eternal at Rose Hill on Saturday. We're expecting it wet. Highlights goes second up here. Looks the better of your chances?
Yeah, I think Star Deal, I'll just go through them in race order. Star Deal was actually on the back up, and he's rock hard fit, so that's going to hold him in good stead. I think it will be an extremely wet track on Saturday, and with wet tracks, it's demanding, so race fitness is definitely going to tell, and he's got to be a good each-way chance. Question mark is how he backs up. Highlights, I think, is he ran super at 50-1 first up. He was a very close fourth. I think he's improved a lot since then, fitness-wise. I think he's in there with a really good chance. He's only going to probably beat 5 or 6 runners, so it's going to be open enough for him, and he can often surprise at big odds.
If I gave you $100, Bjorn, how would you spend it on the weekend?
I'm going to go 50 each way on War Eternal. I thought his run was hidden first up. His work since has been very good. He loves a wet track. He's got a good gait. We can definitely put him close to second up, and I think he's right in the race.
Bjorn, appreciate your time as always, mate. Best of luck for the spring. Hopefully catch up. We'll have a beer.
Brilliant. Thanks, Miles.
Bjorn Baker there, absolutely flying at the moment. Star horses everywhere. Quick break, come back, reset the show. I'll push Peter Snowden to just past 9 o'clock. We'll be with him very, very shortly. Back in a moment.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. Giddy up for Gareth Hall, all thanks to the team at Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead, because it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Gamble responsibly, as always. We've still got Stable Mail to continue on the other side of 9 o'clock. Peter Snowden to join me and Dan Pearce for our Western Whip Around. But the horses with Peter Snowden running through the likes of Raging Force, Media World, Memo, Amrakia, Grand Prairie, Beedman, you name it. We'll ask where King of Rosso is going, whether it's Melbourne or Sydney. Maybe looking towards Melbourne, the way Sydney is shaping up at the moment. Dan Pearce still to join me, as I mentioned. Bag of tips. Kanga to join me from around about 9:30. And then we go through the weekend preview with the boys. Ben Caluzzi from 365 in here. The show is packed and it's jacked. What's that movie? Ryan Gosling. It's where the financial crash. You know, he's like, I'm jacked. I'm the Big Short. Yeah, I'm jacked. I'm up and about. Spring is in the air. We'll be back on the other side of this.
Powered by Signet. Good morning, I'm Nate Gardner with SEN News. The Australian Defence Force has joined efforts to locate a missing US Navy sailor. The alarm was raised Monday afternoon as the USS George Washington sailed through the Timor Sea off Australia's north during training Operation Talisman Sabre. Defence assets and aircraft from the Australian Border Force are now supporting the US-led mission to find the missing crew member. The father behind Jack's Law, created after Gold Coast teen Jack Beasley was stabbed to death, has spoken about his global mission. Brett Beasley is taking the landmark legislation that allows officers to scan people for knives and other weapons publicly using metal detectors to the UK. He's told Nine it's taken over 1,500 weapons off the streets of Queensland and has led to similar laws in other states, except Victoria.
The community absolutely love it. The police service absolutely loves it. It's a no-brainer, as I've said before, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand why they just don't trial it, you know. Well, what does it hurt?
A man has been shot dead by police in Melbourne's outer east. It's alleged 2 officers were called to an incident last night at Yarra Junction to reports of a man assaulting a woman known to him. One of the officers opening fire. Welcome news for mortgage holders, with economists tipping a rate cut is a certainty for next month, and thousands of fans have lined the streets to farewell former Black Sabbath frontman and reality TV star Ozzy Osbourne at his hometown Birmingham. Coming up, SEN Sport. The Bulldogs are looking for just their second win against a top 8 side this season when it takes on GWS tonight. The Giants' Tom Green telling Fox Footy it's a crucial match for both sides' finals aspirations.
There doesn't really need to be any extra motivation in a game like this. So there is a little bit of history there, and it's 2 really competitive teams that need to win this game for the rest of their season.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. Good morning to you. 9:04 a.m. on Thursday, the 31st of July. We're in Stable Mail. We're just going to the biggest and the best with a little bit of a look towards spring when we're talking some juveniles. Miles Pfitzner filling in for Gareth Hall. We've got one of the absolute best in the business, especially when it comes to juveniles. Joining me right now, I speak of Peter Snowden. Peter, good morning to you.
Morning, Miles. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Peter, I've got about 15 young horses I could ask you on here, but I'll do my best and try not to put you under the gun too much. But there might be a couple off Broadway. I want to start with the 3-year-old Justify filly, Amrikia. Is that how I say it?
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Nice. Yeah, nice filly. She's 3 from 3 now. She won first up to Canterbury, and pretty special win, which she was very, very hard to do on the day. So it just proves how much class she has, and hopefully she can keep going.
Yeah, have you got something in mind for a horse like her? She's sort of that win first up, especially in that grade. I thought that was a really strong little race, that 64.
Yeah, it was good. It was 61.5. She had a lot of work to do turning home, and she did it quite comfortably. But, yeah, she's a filly we've really liked for a while. She's been a slow maturer, but she's certainly finished into a lovely filly now and will coming man shortly. But just going to take her quietly. I definitely think the stakes grade enough for sure. But we'll just take it. We'll work our way through the grades and get a benchmark up. And whether it's in the spring or in the autumn in Sydney, I'm sure you'll hear more about her later on.
This another one I think we might hear a little bit more on is Grand Prairie. It's a written tycoon out of Vidora. We know what she was like for the Yulong team, putting a nice record together also.
Yeah, lovely horse. Really big, strong lad. Got a fantastic temperament. He's just a gentle giant. And showed good grit the other day. He's still very new and very raw, but definitely got talent. And we'll give him a go at some good class races coming up, I think, 6 to 8 weeks.
Where Memo, the capitalist filly that you have, was superb going back in the Magic Night. Was in a really hot, sweet embrace and from a sort of a tricky enough draw out of 7. But Memo looks like it's got a few wins in it. Yeah,
good. She trialled great on Monday, first trial back Tuesday. She'll have another trial and probably go with maybe the Furious first up this time through. But she's come back in great order. She looks terrific and a good trial. And
it must always be nice going and looking at the boxes in the morning and having a look at the 2-year-old Beedman, the Schnitzel colt that you have. He looks superb.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to keep my feet on the ground with him and just take it day by day. But look, it's still you can't sort of go off on one super run. He's just got to keep doing that. But the indications there, he's spelled really well. He's come back great. His work has just been special. So I'm really looking forward to see what he can do. And if he does measure up, his ultimate goal through the prep is going to be the Coolmore if he's up to that class. But we'll give him his chance. And so far the signs are positive.
I could have kept going, but I know you're a busy man. We'll run through some of your runners on the weekend. Now, the question on everyone's lips is, have you made a decision yet where King of Rosso is going? Is it Melbourne looking likely or to Rose Hill? Because I think Sydney's had quite a bit of rain from what the trainers have told me this morning.
It's really bad. We've had a lot of rain this morning. It's absolutely been teeming down here. This track, and they're expecting more rain Friday and more on Saturday. So, no, he's definitely going to go to Melbourne. He'll be on his way and he'll be there today. He'll definitely be running there on Saturday.
Yeah, well, there's a good chance in the Ori Star, I think.
Yeah, there's some nice horses there. Going to the form last night, there's some very nice horses there. So his first decent crack at Open Company. We tested the water a little bit last time. We ran down the straight there this year, and he ran incredibly. So that gave us a bit of food for thought when we looked around in the calendar a couple of weeks ago. There's another race, his next start after his last 2 wins he's had here, and that looked a good race on paper, but it has come up strong. But he's going particularly well. His last 2 wins have been special, so running time and winning with authority. So he's going to go down there in good order and gets the track that'll probably suit him.
We'll touch on a couple at Rose Hill. Hopper looks like he handles the wet in the first.
Yeah, he's got back to a bit of form. He changed a few things around with him, seemed to have worked, and got him back to his old form. His run the other day was good. He had 2 average runs in between that, but good run again last start. And looks a good race for him on paper on Saturday.
Chulary's obviously went back last start. You get J-Mac on here, and you've got the J-Mac tax nice and early as well from gate 7 into $1.65 here, Peter. That's short.
It's really short, really short. But look, she's talented. I'm not sure whether a runner, but the track's going to be a bog. Look, she probably got a pedigree that says she handled it, but I just don't want to have a gut buster second up. She had a pretty hard run first up, so be very mindful not to hurt her too much going into it. Started a prep. There's definitely good things ahead, and you'd like to think spring in Melbourne awaits her later on.
You've got Grand Prairie and Sakima in race 5. Are they both likely to take their spots?
Yeah, I'll probably run both of them. They're both really. Sakima's a little bit out of form, but they were tinkered with the gear, put some blinkers on her. I think they'll help her a lot Saturday. And Grand Prairie, I think it's a bit of a test in the water to see whether if he can meet this sort of field on Saturday. It gives us a lot more confidence going to the group race of him the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Peter, if I gave you $100, what would you be doing on the weekend? How would you be spending it?
I'd probably have a nice meal on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's slide in somewhere and have a parmigiana.
But I do think King of Rosso is a good each way chance on Saturday in Melbourne.
We'll go 50 each way there on King of Rosso. Appreciate your time as always, Peter. Understand you're busy, but looking forward to seeing even other horses like Media World and the like. You've got a hell of a stable there at the moment. We love following you here at SEN Track. So appreciate your time and best of luck throughout the spring, mate.
Same to you, mate. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Peter Snowden there, absolute ripper, one of the best in the business when it comes to training juveniles. Absolute star. Let's head to WA. Are we right to go? Not quite. We're going to head west, and all thanks to Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West. We actually might take a quick break. We'll come back with Dan Pearce and Johnny Hickmott on the other side of this. We've still got Bag of Tips to come. Then we've got Kanga in the house. Then we've got Ben Calusi, Bet365 in the house. Where would you rather be? Let's go to a break.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall. The Western Whip Around. Tune in to Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West.
Welcome back to Stable Mail. You can tune into Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West. If you do want to watch the show too, don't forget it's available on YouTube, Facebook or via the SEN app. When we head west, I love always chatting to this man. He's part of the Pearce Racing team. I speak of Dan Pearce, and he joins me this morning. Good morning, Dan.
Morning, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Mate, things are ticking over really nicely for your stable at the moment. I've loved following Famous Dane. He's been in superb form.
Yeah, they're going along good. Sort of nice bunch of horses working through the winter. We've sort of got a couple of the nicer horses starting to roll back into the stable ahead of a summer carnival. So, exciting time.
Who would be your top couple of seeds heading in towards the summer carnival? It seems that we can follow your stable punting-wise with a fair bit of confidence at the moment, but who would be your number 1 or number 2 seeds going into the carnival?
Talk and Co will be probably our number 1 3-year-old coming back. She's had a good spell after a Karrakatta win, look to kick her off through that 3-year-old line of races. Got old Let's Gallivant back in work, he was an enormous run in the railway last year from an outside barrier, come screaming down the outside. Certainly looking forward to seeing if he can go a bit better this year.
Yeah, a few at SEN Track are familiar with Talk and Co. It'd been one of mine. I tried to take Terry on with you a couple of times over there, so looking forward to seeing it. Dan, you've got a few on the weekend. We've got Bunbury, the Fibre Sand today. You've got 3 there. Have you got a winner? Tash riding all 3 of you today. Have you got a winner at Bunbury today for us?
Hopefully, yeah. We've got a few. The Sand 5 this will be our first go taking them down there to race on it. It looks, we just sort of watched from afar the first few goes at it, and everyone's been pretty positive on the surface. This is be our first time heading down there. Definitely got a few chances there.
Let's move into your Belmont runners. We go to race number 2. You've got the 1 defending for ZJP, and you've got the 7 Kiralui for Tash Faithful.
Yeah, we took Kiralui out of Wednesday. She was in a race that was suitable on Wednesday, but the Saturday race looks good, and we wanted to give her opportunity to pick up a Saturday win. She's drawn well, looks a good map for her, and goes there in really good order. Hopefully that's she can tick off that Saturday win for she's owned by Alan Bantsma, a breeder, so that's always on the cards for any breeder.
Race number 5, I think there's a former lambing runner. I think a lot of this horse came from over east, if my memory serves me correctly. Excel Train?
No, he's an Oakland Park horse.
Oh, right.
We actually bought him as a weanling.
Excel Man. I'm getting confused with Excel Man. Spelled exactly the same too. I do apologise.
It wouldn't be. One's got man on the end and one's got train on the end.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry.
He's in good order. He's been racing well. We've used Zephyr on a couple of these on Saturday. To just be interesting to see whether the couple of those that are building in their preps and running those nice thirds and fourths, maybe with the 3 kilo weight relief and a little bit back in class, that might be what it takes. But he's been racing really well, it looks like a good race for him, I think. Dan, do you think, like going back to the Belmont track now, it's looking like it is favouring those horses like this one that might sort of roll up on speed? Yeah, it's been hard. Like as far as these tracks have been really hard to sort of work out how they're going to play, and the tired Pinjarra and tired Bunbury tracks. So it's been good to get back on a fresh pad there and get a bit of this Saturday just gone, get a bit of sort of fair racing. He's one that it's hard with those ones that sit on speed and tend to kick round the corner when the track's chopping out and they're all building to the outside. It hasn't really suited him. I guess getting back on a bit of a fair pad will be good.
Let's go to Done with the Blues in race number 6. You draw 8 here. Looks a reasonable race. The last couple, it's been very, very competitive.
Yeah, and she's one that we've. She's just rising. She's only a little girl, and she's been rising in weight. She just got Pete Willie give her a perfect ride last start. She just couldn't quite get there, and she got a point for that. So she goes up half a kilo, and you sort of thought, oh, well, geez. Rising to the 59, what'll probably be a rain-affected track on Saturday. We've just decided to go with Zephyr and pull off 3 kilos. So yeah, hopefully that can get her over the line. But yeah, she's certainly racing in good order.
And a horse that which is probably the reason why I got you on is Outspoken Lad goes third up here at the Pet Trip after going 12-14 the first couple, but third up like a couple of runs under, and this trip seemed to be the tick with this horse.
Yeah, he's going great. I thought he was a really big run over 14 there at Bunbury last start. Zephyr goes on. Zephyr's actually won on him before as well. So yeah, look, everything's ticking along really well for him.
Dad, if I gave you $100 this weekend, how would you spend it on your horses?
Oh, probably Outspoken Lad, I reckon. But yeah, we'll see some prices first, to be honest. But, would probably help. But yeah, look, we got a nice bunch of horses there without any sort of superstars. But yeah, look, I'd like to. You'd like to see. Hopefully, we can find a winner amongst them.
Certainly have a good hand going to the races on the weekend. Appreciate your time this morning, mate. Hopefully, see you over there when Gareth and I come over for the carnival.
Beautiful. You can buy me that beer.
Yeah, I certainly do owe you one, especially after Excel Train Fair. We've gone through 65 horses today and I had to miss one, I know. Hey, appreciate your time, Dan, mate. I'll chat soon.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Dan Pearce there for the Western Whip Around. Tune into Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West. Well, when I used to go to the races and saddle in there with Daryl Dodson in South Australia, always used to see this man and say g'day to him. He's an absolute ripper. His name is John Hickmott and he joins me. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Miles. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Hey, mate, we thought we'd get you on. What a story yesterday. It was Francis Boy gets it done. Start number 154. You win number 20, and you lined it up. I heard your post-race interview. You lined it up to get it done right on start 150. You must have been pretty chuffed.
Yeah, well, it was you know, he's been around for a long time, but he's certainly a stable favourite, and he's a lovely old horse, and he just loves the wet. And eventually, so we said, well, just sooner or later we're going to get a wet track, and it could work out that it's on his 150th. And anyhow, it worked out good.
Yeah, well, it certainly did work out good. He's the new flow meter for you, isn't he? You always told me you had a bill payer, a stable bill payer. He's the new flow meter.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, well, he's old Flowy won just on 800,000. This bloke's 782 now or something, or 783. So it's an enormous amount of money for horses that, you know, they went to the sale from Wrangle Park and didn't sell. And so we leased them. But, you know, if you'd have had your time over again, you'd have said, oh, well, we'll you know, pay them a bit extra and buy them. But anyway, it's been good for both parties. Derek Butler from Wrangle Park now, and it's now closed and been sold. But the family are still getting the benefits of his winnings.
John, you've got a fair few nominated for Gawler on Sunday, or the weights have come out for that. You've accepted with 3 at Murray Bridge on Saturday. Some of them, I think It's Only Magic and Just a Jewel are at Lascelles Luck. They're all both. Have you decided where you're going to run those horses yet?
It's Only Magic's. He's an emergency. Just a Jewel's the only one at Murray Bridge that's got to run. The other 2, Lascelles Luck and It's Magic, are third emergency. So they're all also accepted for Gawler, and they're more than likely to go to Gawler anyway. So we'll just see what happens. And, you know, we've got a magnificent day yesterday and another one, a ripper today, so that track will dry out. It won't be any heavy tens or anything, I don't think. We
ask all the trainers when they come on, John, if I gave you $100 with your horses on the weekend, how would you spend it?
Well, until we see just which ones accept, I don't know. Just a Jewel's a nice filly, and she won, you know, at a bit of odds last time, but she's, you know, she's well bred and she's a cheap buy out of Adelaide sale for 5,000 and on a service fee of 66,000, and at that stage, Justify, wasn't really thought of as going to be the stallion that he is. So, but anyway, she's a lovely filly. At this stage, I'd have something on her.
Appreciate your time, John. I wanted to grab you on after that win yesterday, and look, hopefully I'll see you at the races again sometime soon, my friend. Best of luck with the horses going forward, and always good to chat to you.
Likewise, Miles. Good on you, mate. Thank you.
John Hickmott there, absolute ripper. Start number 150, win number 20 for Francis Boy yesterday. And, right at the end of the season. Couldn't have worked it out any better. He's a new flow meter there for Johnny. He's a ripping fella. What we are going to do is we're going to take an early news because I want to get this man in. He's here. He looks as fresh as a daisy. I always love chatting to this man. Kanga to join me in studio next. Don't forget you can watch on Facebook, SEN app, or you can also catch the show up via YouTube. We'll be back on the other side of this.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News headlines. Economists believe slowing inflation is evidence enough for the Reserve Bank to cut interest rates when the board meets next month. The Trump administration accused of placing a low diplomatic priority on Australia. A US ambassador to Canberra is still yet to be named. The peak body for Zionist organisations in Australia calls on Israel to allow aid to flow into Gaza. And Jimmy Barnes has announced a Working Class Man tour to mark 40 years since the hit song was released, kicking off in November. Up next, sen.com.au sport. The Bulldogs are looking for just their second win against a top 8 side this season when it takes on GWS tonight. The Giants' Tom Green telling Fox Footy it's a crucial match for both sides' finals aspirations.
There doesn't really need to be any extra motivation in a game like this, so there is a little bit of history there, and it's two really competitive teams that need to win this game for the rest of their season.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up on your Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m, wherever you are right around the country. Hello to you and good morning. Hopefully it's starting to warm up in your part of the world. It's certainly starting to warm up here in Melbourne, Victoria, and the boss of the MRC joins me in studio, one of the great guys I speak of, Kanga. Hello to you, Kanga.
G'day, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you, mate.
Good to be back.
How's everything going at the moment? Now, I've got a stack of stuff I can ask you here, but I want to kick off the top. How are things at the club? And we'll probably start with the fire was probably a big sort of blimp in the plan. How's that all gone post the fire?
The club is airborne. Yep. The membership is off the charts, fantastic. So our NPS scores are really, really good. The fire, we're going to be back at the medallion bars opening back up on the 16th. So next race meeting at Caulfield, and then that'll follow the winners bar upstairs and the 1876. So we're having a members function on the 15th, where the details are being announced today, tomorrow, to our membership group. So worked really, really hard. We've had some challenges with some aspects of it, but it's going to be back bigger and better.
It's my favourite little part of the track when you used to get in there to that sort of 1876 bar. That's where I'd go every time I went.
It's really popular, and what we're doing is we're extending the offering in the 1876 bar and having pub meals as well. So you can have your Parma and pot, you can have your steak sandwich, and just something for everybody. We've got, as you know, the $5 buck the cost campaign, which is continuing on. So you can come to the races and have a $5 hot dog or pie or whatever offering we have there, a sandwich, and then you can also get your $8.50 Carlton draft.
Yeah, well, I'm loving the
schooner. Sorry,
I love the $8.50 Carlton drafts. No worry about that.
We all do.
At the end of last season, we saw you implement these changes with the bucking the cost, and people started to go to the races more. Is that something that in your eyes was just had to be done and has to continue? Because what we have seen is that your concept has now flowed on now to other clubs are trying to essentially piggyback off the fact that if you're making food and beverage a little bit cheaper, surprise, surprise, people are actually more inclined to go.
Well, it's not piggybacking. It's we're an industry, and we're sharing our ideas across the board, not just here but internationally as well. So we need bigger engagement for our participants and our members. As an example, our last 4 meetings at Caulfield, all our food and beverage outlets were sold out, which hasn't happened. This time last year, they were down 70% because the mountain yard was in the wrong spot. So we've improved that. We've had our strategic pivot. Obviously, since last October, we've got Sandown. We've saved Sandown. We're racing continually there. We're improving Sandown. We've moved the mountain yard back, which is what everybody wanted, and we're not demolishing the grandstand. We're just going to renovate it. So once we finish the fire, then we move into the grandstand for next year. So start improving that aspect of it. But we're focused on delivering what the promises, and we've already done that. And this spring's going to be huge. So that's what we're looking forward to. And
well, the spring is shaping up to be massive. Not to keep going in the past, but some of the activations last year, they all look like they work. Like you incorporated Super Bowl. It didn't matter what it was on those days. You must be pretty chuffed with how that season finished. I know we'll get stuck into what we're doing moving forward, but you must be pretty chuffed with how it went for that year.
It's been a great year. So, we started off with a turbulent AGM. We've got a really, really strong and very focused board. Our gaming operations are working beautifully, and another great financial year. We've let's not forget one of the biggest transactions in history of the club, which is the $195 million land sale, which will clear our debt and give us breathing space going forward and allow us to contribute more to racing. This next year, we're going to increase our top-ups to racing for another $3 million. So we've spread that across a number of races, not just one race. So we're really, our members, our staff engagement is off the charts, and participants are wrapped, and that's what we're listening to. So, we're a club that loves racing. Our board loves racing, and that is our North Star. What's good for racing?
Before we get stuck into Caulfield membership, Cox Plate, we'll do all that on the other side of the break. The Sportsbet Sandown Grand National Hurdle. Can we touch on it?
Absolutely. It's this Sunday.
Yep.
And it's an Irish theme, so we've got plenty of Guinness flowing. It's free. So absolutely free, and we're expecting a decent crowd there. So we're the only metropolitan club to hold jumps racing, and we honour tradition, and Sandown is a traditional place for jumps racing. So please get out there and have some fun.
Irish theme, Guinness on tap. People trying to split the G everywhere, I'd imagine.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it certainly will be
and
interesting.
We're looking forward to it, absolutely.
And that's on this Sunday at Sandown.
This Sunday.
Kanga, what I might do is I might clear a break if you don't mind, because I want to get stuck into some of the GA, the membership stuff, and more of what's happening at the Jockey Club on the other side of this. Miles Pfitzner and John Kanga with you right around the country. If you've got any questions, they've started to come in already. 0499 736 736. The one thing Kanga provides is access. So if you want to ask a question, send in a text 0499 736 736. Back in a moment.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. Miles Pfitzner with you on your Thursday morning. I'm joined by the head of the MRC, John Kanga, in studio as we touch on the upcoming carnival membership. You name it, we have it. Kanga, always good to chat to you, especially when you're in here. Mate, I want to start with your membership and the early bird offering. So we'll get into reciprocal rights, which a lot of people are asking about, and a few people that are maybe close to this show are exercising as we speak. But you've got an early bird membership offer at the moment, and really, if you're going to become a member, probably now is the best time to do it.
Absolutely. We've had our memberships around 15,500, and the latest figures as of this morning, we've just ticked over 10,000 renewals, which is great because today's our last day, so tomorrow's the horse's birthday.
Yep.
And the great thing is, as I was driving in, the team have agreed to extend the early bird prices for another week.
One more week.
So it's Kanga's early bird pricing now.
Yeah, I like it. Kanga's week.
Kanga's week. So this week's going to be special. So our full memberships can be around, for young members, $150. And we've got 80 meetings. So it's around less than $2 a meeting to be a young member, which is great. And young members, anyone around my age, 35 and under.
Your age, 35 and under?
Allegedly.
Hey, the early bird renewal, it was $390, so that becomes $340 for the full membership.
That's right.
And the new memberships, well, essentially there's no better time because of not just the meetings that we've got on offer here, but also the reciprocal rights that these memberships have.
We announced this week that the Jockey Club in the UK, so there's 300 meetings over there. And the good thing is our good friend Gareth is using his MRC reciprocal rights membership at the moment. So he's in Royal Goodwood and Aintree, and he's loving the experience over there on his MRC membership.
Nobody would try to access that better than our man G Hall, as in I need reciprocal rights here. He didn't hit you up for anything else, did he? When he was heading over there?
He's been very good. He's a generous man. G, we love him. And but what he suggests is that your MRC membership is your passport to racing. So ATC, Brisbane Racing Club, it just gets you into a lot of places. And that's what it should be. Racing should be affordable. And that's one of our things over the next 12 months that we're going to keep working on.
Are you looking to expand that, your reciprocal rights stuff with your membership? So
absolutely.
Is that just in constant talks with other clubs and jurisdictions?
Yeah, because they're engaging with us as well, and they're reaching out and saying, well, how can we work with you? And we're very easy to work with. We're for the punters, we're for the members, and we're also for the participants, and that's the broad range. We need wagering to go through the roof. We need our racing to be affordable. It's expensive to race a horse, so we're dealing a lot with a lot of the syndication companies. Whatever it takes to get people to love our sport. The younger the better.
So there's no better time to get your membership at the MRC, and just remember you've got the Brisbane Racing Club, the ATC, and you've got the reciprocal rights now in the UK, over 300 meetings over there, which Gareth, I'm sure, is taking full advantage of. But you've extended the early bird offer for one more week.
Next week's going to be Kanga's early bird offer.
Yeah, Kanga's early bird offer for one more week only. So especially if you're looking ahead to Caulfield at any stage and or Sandown throughout the rest of the season, the start of this season, but the rest of the year, make sure you get hold of that early. Let's talk about the general admission, though, and the perks with the general admission, because some of these, you're trying to sort of essentially break up these meetings into different categories.
We have. As I promised to Gareth a number of months ago when we first came in and started looking at this thing, our race club runs 80 meetings across Mornington, Caulfield and Sandown. And I'm pleased to announce that 56 of those days are going to be completely free entry, and they'll be listed on our website. 13 of those are going to be GA plus perks. So it's a $20 entry fee, but you get $15 worth of food and drinks and a race book, which is basically $20. So we're now saying 69 of them are effectively free. So all we have is 7 Group 1 days and listed days that is obviously going to be a little bit of a charge for that. And that's obviously the carnival.
So 7 Group 1 days are broken up. Then you've got a GA plus perks day. So 13 of those, which is where a $20 general admission ticket will give you $15 of a drink and a food voucher anyway.
Correct. And a race book.
And a race book. So there's a $5 race book in that. So it's essentially race book, food and drink. It's free, right? And then 56 of the other days you can go free anyway.
Completely free. So just walk in, enjoy your $8.50 schooners. If you want to have a burger, you can have a burger for $10. If you want to have a chicken parma, it'll be $20. So
how long have you had that in your back pocket? How long?
Well, we've been working on it for a little while, and our team have been great. Shout out to Ash and Tanya Fullerton, who's our new acting CEO, and she's done a tremendous job. So, and this is what we're all about. This is what we want to do at the Melbourne Racing Club. We want to engage with our members.
How hard was that to get through? I mean, a lot of the old school train of thought, though, is that you've got to be charging people at the gate. You've got to be charging people at the gate. Like, this is new age thinking to get people in the door. This is hot off the press of what young people and people trying to get involved have wanted for people to get access to racing for
We're
years.
giving it to them, so there's no excuse now. We've been listening to it. How do we get people back to the track? How do we engage with our members? How do we get people back owning racehorses? Well, we're working with syndication companies. We're working with our members. We're working with participants and making that happen. So, there's only 69 out of the 80, well, there's 69 out of the 80 meetings that we do, which are effectively free.
There you go, Ethan.
So it's a big one.
There you go. 69 of the 87 Group 1 meetings.
It's a great number.
Are ranked separate. lucky 13 of the GA Plus Perks Days, which is the food and drink plus the racebook for $20, and 56 meetings through the MRC. You go free.
Absolutely free. But then we're rolling into the carnival, and you're going to say to me, you're going to ask Kanga, where are we at with the Caulfield Cup Carnival? That's got to be expensive.
I'll swap your sides here. Where are we at, Kanga, with the Caulfield Cup Carnival?
Well, Caulfield Cup Day is only $40 for GA. And we've got so many exciting, it's the best value for Spring Carnival. So, that's 40% off. The Caulfield Guineas is $30, which is 50% off. And so we're going to have music, we're going to have racing, we're going to have DJs, we're going to have food, atmosphere, the vibe. The vibe's already back. So the last few meetings that we've had at Caulfield, the vibe is back. The mounting yard's back, our members are back, and we're getting we had a really good session last week with the British Lions team. We had a stack of them come on the trains.
There were a stack of, when I saw that through the camera footage, the amount of red and yellow rugby, because we know rugby fans are closet, they only come out when the Wallabies are going any good. But they went to Caulfield before they went to the game.
And we filled them up and we sent them off to the MCG. So the $8, they got a shock when they got to the MCG because it wasn't $8.50 schooners and $5 pies, let me tell you.
Hey, if you're going to get in for hospitality, though, the one thing is because the vibe's back, it means that the demand's back also for corporate hospitality.
And it's not a line. We're 75% done already. So if you're going to get in. And I've kept a couple of little Kanga special tables on the side just in case for the last minute guests like Gareth. Yeah. Because he'll hit me up. And Tags, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hutchie's got to pay for himself, though.
Yeah, no. Well, if he just walked past here, we should have got him on.
If he can afford RSN, he can afford to pay full freight.
Well, with that too, is SEN Track and RSN, I mean, the 16th, we've got the PB Lawrence coming up too. On the 30th, we sort of kick off. But by the 11th of October, which is another big meeting that you're going to have there as well, is we'll be rolling the SEN Track as well as some mounting yard coverage.
Absolutely.
I mean, and the RSN changeover as well. Are we likely to get some good spots lined up for SEN for our broadcast positions?
Hutchie's already booked them in. So we're going to have SEN Track. So for those that demographic that works really, really well. And then for the RSN listeners, Hutchie's going to look after them as well. So
which is the more rusted on traditional racing.
We all love racing.
Like a bit straighter than some of us though.
That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love everybody in racing, and so it's the best equaliser, isn't it? In racing, you can be a king or queen or just the local milk bar owner. So, we're all important.
Just to recap here, Caulfield Guineas Day is now only $30 for your GA, and that's 50% off. And the Caulfield Cup Day is $40, so that's 40% off the full price.
Absolutely. So, again, we've made it very, very affordable. We're going to have fashion, we're going to have food, we're not going to compromise. Some of the activations are off the charts.
I will put you, what are we doing post-races? Where's the entertainment post-races been big? It's a big point of why Sydney went really well there for a while, and they put on Peking Dark, and they put on a few of the really
So did we.
Yeah, and correct. But the post-race for the younger crowd is they go there, like FDC Everest Day, they go there, they want to fill up, they want to have a punt, but then they want to have a party.
Well, it's exactly that's exactly what our activation is going to be. We had it last year, and we're going to engage further this year. So we're more than likely going to use our new mounting yard, if you like, or the older new mounting yard, the one that we're not using.
Yeah, the old new mounting yard.
The old new mounting yard that we're repurposing into a function space, and that's where a lot of the fashion and activations are going to happen. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have Benny Ellen on the decks.
The notorious young calf.
The notorious young calf. He'll be there with Kanga. We're gonna work the deck.
Work the decks.
I've been getting some practice on it.
Don't.
Down at the Osborne the other day.
You know who doesn't mind spinning the old decks either is our mate Hutchie.
Does he really?
All after the grand final, he gets on the decks. Don't worry about that.
We might have to drag him up because you guys have got a marquee there, so it's great.
DJ Hutch and DJ Kanga. Now, I did hear about this marquee too that we're rolling in, so good to see that. A lot coming in off the text here, Kanga. Kyle's text in. I've always loved going to country meetings, but I've never been interested in going to city tracks. I'm now tempted to go. That is legit straight off the message. Well, if you can spend $40 and go to the Caulfield Cup, why wouldn't you? $8.50 beers.
$8.50 beers, and there's affordable pricing across the boards, and there's a great vibe. So, you might be saying, Kanga, we want more younger people to go. Well, we've got more mature age people coming through as well. So they're just loving their racing. They're loving the engagement because win, lose or draw, you leave the track energised and really well. So Medallion Bar coming back. The Glass House is only around the corner. From on course, that is. So, we all end up to have a drink and have some fun.
Couple of things I want to ask you on. Cox Plate, where's that at? How hard are you trying to get it? I know you might straight back over the fence here over my head.
And I'm happy to answer the question, and I've done it all the way through the last few months. My personal view is that it needs to go to Flemington, and the VRC will, and I know they're working on it with Racing Victoria and with the Moonee Valley Racing Club, so I'm sure it's close. We're on standby to do it at Caulfield, so happy to accommodate because it's one of the best races of the world, and it's the best race of the world. So it deserves the respect, and it deserves the honour, and deserves the tradition. So we're racing purists at the MRC. So wherever it goes, it's going to be great. It's going to be either Caulfield or Flemington. Ideally, let's put it to Flemington. Let's get 80,000 people there. Let's activate it. Let's get, and a lot of our MRC members are going to turn up as well, and because we love racing.
Another one off the text.
So there's no politics there.
Like it. Would you rather the Pies win a flag or Feroce win another Group 1?
Well, both are going to happen. But the listeners just forgotten about Dacos winning the Brownlow medal. So we're going to have Dacos winning the Brownlow medal. Feroce, I guarantee you, will win a. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm saying it.
I like it.
We'll win a Group 1, and Fly will definitely be holding up the cup.
Kanga, I greatly appreciate you coming in. What you're doing for racing, you're making it cheaper and more affordable in essentially a cost of living crisis for people to get to the races. We've got 56 free, 13 are GA Plus perks, which make them free, and 7 Group 1 days, and essentially 35% off all of Caulfield Guineas Day and Caulfield Cup Day average over the 2 days.
And at the moment, if you're walking around at Caulfield and you spot me, we've got some really, really nice little drink cards. I've worked them out from the old nightclub days.
Yeah.
And they're very, very popular, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure you get stopped a lot. Hey, Kanga, appreciate you coming in. Love what you're doing. I've been on board with how you're going about it from day one, and greatly appreciate you coming in, mate. Look forward to getting around you at the carnival. Appreciate it. John Kanga there, the head of the MRC. We've got to take a break. I'll come back, set the show up on the other side of this as we head to the 10 o'clock news.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up right around the country. Miles Pfitzner with you, filling in for Gareth Hall. All thanks to the team at Bet365. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. A couple of mentions. Ben Calusi from Bet365 is going to join me very shortly with Dean Watling and Mitch Lewis as we run through Sydney and Melbourne cards, what's happening in the markets there. Bag of tips will be coming up just on the other side of this, all thanks to the Ultima Hotel in the heart of the Mallee, just down the road from Swan Hill. Swing by for a cold beer, and Oz Equipment Rentals, supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. Go to ozequipment.com, and that'll be with Bet365 Top Tote Plus. You get the best part across all three national totes. Imagine what you could be buying instead. Just to mention too, I'll give you a hint. The Bet Boost horse is going to be Mitch Lewis's at sale. Race 7, number 3. That's 7-3 at sale. But we're going to do the bag of tips very quickly, including Toddy Gray on the other side of the 10 o'clock news. Then Ben Calusi to join me and Dean Watling as we run through Sydney. And then Mitch Lewis will jump on and we'll run through all the races at Flemington for the weekend preview, thanks to Bet365. We'll also have a chat to Ben, though, too. Debut on racing.com the other day, did a stellar job, too. Good to have him here in studio, and also part of the all-conquering racing previews team. How good are they going? Hashtag play it. Shout out to Nico, who'll be listening in this morning. We love Nico. He's the best. News time, 10 o'clock wherever you are, right around the country. We'll be back on the other side of this with Bag of Tips and the weekend preview.
Powered by Signet. Good morning, I'm Nath Gardner with SEN News. As Australia edges closer to recognising a Palestinian state, Canada has become the latest country to make the move. It comes with a strict proviso that the Palestinian Authority commits to a general election next year and other democratic reforms. It's prompted this response from Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers.
I think Australian recognition of a state of Palestine is a matter of when, not if, and I personally welcome the momentum, the progress that's being made in the international community towards the recognition of the state of Palestine.
The house of mushroom killer Erin Patterson is set to be seized by prosecutors. The Crown making an order to freeze the triple murderer's property in regional Victoria in a secret court hearing in case her victims' families seek compensation. The property has an estimated value of nearly $1.2 million. Operations at Australia's longest-running copper mine at northwest Queensland came to an end this morning. The Glencore operation at Mount Isa has been running for 7 decades and producing millions of tonnes of ore. Plans for a rescue deal by the government fell through. Across Sydney, you can travel for free on the train and metro services from now until Saturday morning. It's to acknowledge the disruption caused by industrial action early this year. And tests have shown some of the most popular vehicles in Australia are consuming significantly more petrol than advertised. Coming up next, sen.com.au sport. After signing a contract tying him to the Hawks until 2032, on-baller Jai Newcomb has spoken to SEN. The 23-year-old says putting pen to paper provides him with great security.
Takes away, I guess, the pressures of being out of contract and skips that free agency window and everything that comes with that. So you get to focus on footy and playing well and what's important.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. The Giddy Up bag of tips for Oz Equipment Rentals. Supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. OzEquipment.com.
It's time for the Giddy Up bag of tips wherever you are right around the country. Thanks to Oz Equipment Rentals, supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. Go to OzEquipment.com and the mighty Ultima Hotel. But no doubt, it's all thanks to Bet365 and Top Tote Plus. You'll get the best payout across all 3 national totes. Imagine what you could be buying instead. Let's get through a couple of these. Our Bet Boost horse is going to be for Mitch Lewis at Sale. He got it done last time with Mr. Vane. He goes to Sale, race 7, number 3, Just Do It. $5 will be available up on the Betfair website and app very, very shortly for the Bet Boost horse for Giddy Up. Sale, race 7, number 3. Now, New South Wales racing has been abandoned for Luke Havanassian due to some of the tracks. We'll get to Amanda Rando for Harness Racing New South Wales, the home of the Carnival of Cups, where Australian music royalty meets quality harness racing action. We go to Penrith, race 1, number 2, starting to go, as in like Vincent van Gogh. 1, 2, starting to go. And race 3, number 8, the Devil's Flame. 3, 8 there at Penrith. For Darren Carroll at Kilmore, 2, 4, The Sky is the Limit. That's race 2, 4 at Kilmore. And then race 5, number 5, Afternoon Breeze. So 2, 4 and 5, 5 there at Kilmore for Darren Carroll. Our expert for Greyhound Racing tips, follow at The Dogs SA on Twitter and or Greyhound Racing SA on Facebook. I speak of Toddy Gray. He joins us down the line. Hello to you, Toddy.
Hello, legend. How are we?
Mate, always good to chat to you. Always good to chat to you. Hey, what have you got for us in the Greyhound world in South Australia?
Three tips tonight at Angle Park, all nice and early. The first is in the first. Race 1, number 4, Iron Atlas. This is for the veterans, the invitationals, the masters, whatever you want to call them. This old boy's going great. His last few runs, he's broken the 31-second barrier. I just can't see why he won't get a clear run early. He's got a vacant box to his outside and a bit of a slow beginner to his inside. I just reckon he's going to be on speed throughout, and he's black figures to drum. Only 2 dividends here, unfortunately, but I reckon if he gets around that first turn, he can give this a good old shake. So race 1, number 4, Iron Atlas.
Love it.
Then we go to race 3, number 4, Big Chief Size. Great race this over the middle distance, $5.95. The 2 dog deserves to be favourite, but I reckon we can cut this off at the start. This is the best dog the trainer Darren Camporelli's had. It's had a few weeks off after a bit of a meh third, but before that, 2 flying wins. Being first up for a few weeks, I really like it. I reckon we can lead this, and if we lead, we'll give this a merry dance. Nearly black figures a drum. I'm going to play it safe and go each way as well. Race 3, number 4, Big Chief Size, and best bet of the night, race 4, number 4, Springvale Bray. I'll guarantee you one thing. It's second favourite at the moment, narrowly behind the 6. It will 100% start favourite for mine. It beat the 6 fair and square. It beat the 6 fair and square last week, Miles. He's won 7 of his last 10 over the staying journey. Again, I think there's enough speed here to make the 6 do a little bit of work, and it got a bit tired last week. I think we camp off them and swoop like last week. So race 4, number 4, Springvale Bray is the best.
Appreciate you as always, Toddy. You have a great weekend, my friend. Look forward to backing those dogs here in South Australia.
Fingers crossed. Thanks for having me, as always. For
expert Greyhound Racing tips, follow at The Dogs SA on Twitter or Greyhound Racing SA on Facebook. And just repeating, race 7, number 3, Just Do It is our bet boost, thanks to Mitch Lewis. $4.20, now $5.50, available right now on the Bet365 app. It is time for this.
It's now time for the weekend preview with Mick Gannon, Dean Watling and Mitch Lewis.
It's time for the weekend preview as I welcome in a couple of our, superstar guests. I'm going to start with one, though, the man that's joined me in studio. He made his debut on racing.com the other day and did an unbelievable job. He's flying at the moment. I speak of Ben Calusi, and he joins us. Hello, Benny.
Hello, how are you, mate?
I'm good.
Great to be here for the first time.
Always good to chat to you. For racing previews, now Bet365 and flying on .com, mate. You must be excited leading into the spring.
Absolutely. It's been a baptism of fire this week, but I wouldn't have it any other way, so it's been great.
Mate, I love your work and how you go about it, and a man that I do love his work and how he goes about it is the one and only Dean Watling, and he joins us this morning to preview up there in Sydney. Hello to you, Dino.
Morning, Miles. Benny, congratulations, Benny. It's been some week for yourself, so well done. I know, Miles, good to jump on you again, and let's hope this rain stays away in Sydney town.
Yeah, well, I'm talking to some of the trainers this morning, and we're likely to lose a few, and looking like it's going to be rather wet. Just before we begin, though, too, Dino, thoughts go to you and your family, of course, too, with what you're going through at the moment, mate. So from everyone here, we greatly appreciate with what you do here for the shows and how you go about it. So thinking of you, mate, with what must be a very tough couple of days.
Yeah, thank you, Miles, and thank you to the team. Yes, Grandma loved racing, so she's the one that got me into this great game, so she'd love nothing more than for me to do the form and hopefully pick a couple winners through on Saturday.
Let's roar through the card if we can. I know Gareth only focused on the quaddie legs, Bennies, but I'm going to put you under the gun nice and early. We're going to start with race number 1 here at Rose Hill. What's happening in the market?
So Amusing is the $2.90 favourite from the blue team, now with Chris Waller. So $2.90, James McDonald on board from Narbold, $4.40. Barbara $7.50 and Spaceballs also $7.50.
Perfect. Dino, how are you finding this race? Tough enough?
Yeah, Betty mentioned it. It is tough, and it's a little bit strange to see the Blue Silks under a different trainer than James Cummings. So Amusing probably picks itself on paper. The query is, we've got the rail out 4 metres, a stack of rain coming. I think the inside's going to be cast. So Amusing's got a job to do, but the job at hand, James McDonald can do. I think getting off the fence, if they get to the outside lanes, Amusing's a horse to beat. It's a horse who does get better in the preparation, which is somewhat strange for a Godolphin trained galloper, but really nice win last time. I think Amusing goes on top here in the first, but no real confidence in Milo.
Yeah, I found that one tough enough to start the day too. Let's move to race number 2. You know, I never touch them. They're midways. Who's a favourite here, Benny, for Bet365?
Deadman Star. Punters are just resorting to J-Mac again. $3.20 favourite from Cold Brew, $5.
Dino?
Yeah, hard enough race. Convergent has been going terrific for an informed J&G Lee combination off their glorious moments win last week. Cold Brew is a horse that interests me. Handled the heavy the last 2. Yes, goes to town now. This is somewhat of a tougher ask. What I do like is the gate. Gate 11 has tactical speeding. It'll land off rails and get the right part of the track. Respect Denman Star. Benny just mentioned it then. James is on the saddle. A lot of these markets are somewhat gravitated towards him. What I do find a concern, again, is the inside draw. I think the later this day goes on, these inside lanes are going to chop out. You sort of want to edge towards the outside fence. So Denver Star's in danger, but Cold Brew on top for me in this week's midway, Milo.
Let's get to race number 3 on the card. This is the Tab Highway. They are as tough as old boots, the highways over the 1,200 Bennies. Is there much movement in the market here?
Yeah, well, the unbeaten without parallel is $3.40 into $2.80, so well supported. It looks the one so far.
Dino?
Yep, agree. The market sports comfort, like Ben just mentioned, and I'm going to jump on the train. What I do like is Anaropa taking the 2 kilo claim. Boys, I know some of the key jockeys are away, but Anaropa taking 2 kilos off is an absolute gift up there in Sydney at the moment. She's as good, if not better, than a couple of these senior jockeys. Bred to get through the wet too. 2 from 2 to a soft track, yet to see heavy. It's always a query, but when they're doing on a sort of soft 6, soft 7 and producing big figures, I think that's a nice push. I think King Dioris is the danger. Outside of that, I think you can make a claim for somewhat of camber, winning emotion. I think a couple of those horses can run well, but in a tricky highway, I thought without parallel deserves to be favourite, Milo.
Let's move to race number 4, and what we might even try to do is clear our first break, and then we can get a good run at races 5 to 10. But it is a fascinating race here. We had a chat, Ben, to Peter Snowden earlier, and with the way the weather is shaping up, this horse may not take its place, but it has been smashed.
Yeah, and if it does take its place, then we are planning for it to be one of our Mega Boost horses. So you'll get around the $4 mark for this horse, so that'll be huge. Obviously, it's come in from $1.90, so once the traders, see on Saturday, it might be a little bit shorter than that, but $1.70. Congrats, James McDonald handicap, and he's on board, so big jockey change. Yeah,
Dino, just before you go, we're talking about the 7 Tuileries there, of course, and so that will be one of the Mega Boost horses there on the weekend, so we'll wait and see what happens. But, Dino, how have you found it? I laid this horse last week, and I'm not sure whether or not I wanted to take it on again. Pippi Beach looks half a sniff.
It was funny, wasn't it? A lot of punters took it on, and I missed the race, watched the replay, and it was terrific. Obviously, didn't win, but it wasn't one of those runs where it's like, it hasn't come back. So, heavy, a doubt's good. Gate 7 is good. James McDonald is good. Do you want to take that price? I probably can't. In my opinion, I thought Sister Dane's run was outstanding last start back towards the inside. I'm somewhat hoping that Tullery's safe for maybe a dry deck mile, and we can chime in next start, and we get to back Sister Dane here with Tullery's out of the race. Beauty Beach, fascinating one, boys. 1,800 metres, last two starts now, back to 14. You'd say that's a bit somewhat of a query, but could it potentially be a positive on a heavy deck, which it handles 2 from 2? So I did not know what to make of Pippi Beach with that setup, but I kind of liked just a Dane here, boys. I thought nice enough setup and a good price. Hopefully Colliery's does come out, Milo.
So Sister Day, was that correct?
Yeah, Sister Day, yeah.
For around $5.50, Benny, but Chulary's at $1.70 at the moment. Looks like it's holding a bit of the cash.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously that market will change significantly if it comes out.
Hey, a couple of people coming off the text already. Benny Calusi, my racing previews hero. You're getting a fair bit of love off the text machine. That's from Damo's chimed in there nice and early. What we'll do on the weekend preview, we'll clear our first break of the half hour. Miles Pfitzner, Dean Watling, Ben Calusi from Bet365 to join you on the other side of this as we continue through Rose Hill. Don't forget the 6-horse challenge. You can use this Thursday, Friday and Saturday. It went off last week. Do you like a challenge? Try Bet365 6-horse challenge this Saturday. If you're an existing customer, head over to the racing section and submit your selections for your chance to win $50,000. And don't worry, if you don't get all 6 right, you still receive cash if you correctly pick 4 or 5 horses. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365, and that is subject to availability. Eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Let's go to a break. Back in a moment.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. This is the weekend preview. Miles Pfitzner, Dean Watling and Ben Calusi from Bet365. And don't forget the Mega Boost. If you listen to Giddy Up, brought to you by Bet365, this Saturday, the Mega Boost will be available on selected runners. Check out Bet365 from 10 a.m. on Saturday and see why it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365, subject to availability. Eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? Go to gamblinghelponline.org.au. Boys, we're working our way through. Let's get to race number 5 at Rose Hill, the BM72. Looks a little bit wider in the market, this one, Benny.
Yeah, very open race here. Nearly $5 a field. Star deal, $4.60. Metaphorically, $4.80. $5 and longer the rest.
Dino, how are you seeing this one?
Yeah, interesting race, Benny. Any early market support for the 7 Concordia win? That's what I wanted to ask you about this morning.
Yeah, a bit of specking. $19 into $16 for Waller and Berry. So a little bit there.
Hey, Dino, I'm going to hold up my book here in front of Benny. The number one on top of here is the 7 Concordia win from 13 here. First up, C. Waller and Tommy Berry. And then I thought I could even maybe Dutch with Usapin if I got the right enough price.
Oh, I like that, Milo. Skyhook into Concordia win. I mean, you were lying. We need that little graphic put up on the YouTube or somewhere.
Well, did you hear me talk to Peter Snowden about Grand Prairie?
No, I didn't. I missed this morning, Milo.
Well, he like once again, he's waiting to see on the state of the track. But this is a horse. I mean, this is bred in the purple, and Betty will attest too. Like Vedora by Written Tycoon, it cost $2.25 million or something for the Yulong team. I mean, you've got to keep an eye on him at some point. He looks half handy as well.
Moya Stakes winner, Vedora, one of my old faves.
Oh yeah, what a horse for Lloyd.
Yep.
She could get around the valley, couldn't she, boys? She was outstanding. Good race. I think you've summed it up really well, Milo. I think a couple of these might come out. Usapin doesn't go in the wet, so concerned about it. Happy to push it out. And metaphorically was really good last start, but got all favours. Style Deal's an interesting one. I know the market support has come, and I sort of deep dived into why. Out of done deal, so I think the market's gravitating towards that sort of wet profile. Lands off rails, rock hard fit. That is your wet track setup. So I've got Star Deal on top. The danger, if Concordia win, yes, gives away race fitness first up. Not sure she'll start, but trial watchers will know she's absolutely humming at the trial. Gate 13 might not look as bad either, boys. Later in the day, the grouse lanes, I think this could be a nice setup. So maybe a little each way spec Milo, Concordia win, but Star Deal on top for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go Concordia wind, and then if it's really, really wet, just ditch the Dutch on Usapin. Let's go to race number 6. Benny, this is looking a little bit more pointed in the market, but with a horse also that's pretty untried on the heavy.
Yeah, it's a knockout you speak of. $2.50 favourite. Another one, of course, subject to change, but will be a Mega Boost horse. $3.20 if it stays at the current quote. So getting good value there. From Headley Grange, good in the wet, $3.80. And Estalio Mastella is $4.80.
Dino, I had a chat to Bjorn Baker before. The run of highlights first up, and this horse has won in the wet before, but in behind King of Rosso and Quigwalen at $51. He's got sort of lightning bells ringing on him, but I don't think I can take it to knockout at that shorter quote on an untried deck.
Yeah, it's interesting. Another one, it's a knockout by done deal. So suggest breeding puffs would angle the way that she would handle the wet. I think the best and the biggest tick for her is having highlights in the race. While that horse should lead him up into knockout, should lean outside of it. Therefore, you sort of forecast in the straight. She gets pushed to the superior lane. She was outstanding last start behind Get a Fix. And now gets right down to the weight. So it's a nice setup on a wet deck for her to handle it. She obviously still has to tick it. This is all me forecasting, but I think she's a great bet. And if we get the cream on top with the Bet365 boost on this, like Benny suggests, I thought she was one of the better bets of the day. The dangerous Headley Grange, Benny mentioned that, does love the wet. Doubt it handled the 1,600 metres last start. The Grafton Cup, if you watch that, was week late. They've gone back to 1,500 metres now, so I expect Headley Grange to bounce back. And Well, Milo, is that going here or down to Victoria? I did see it was dual accepted.
I'm not sure on it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure on it. I'm sure we're going to chase it, see if we can get it now. I'm not sure on it, but I do know that King of Rosso is out of race 9 and that will run in Melbourne.
Yep, I did see that. So, interesting to see if I know it loves the wet, so I'm assuming it stays in Sydney, but I did see it was dual accepted. But yeah, it's a knockout on top firmly for me, and the 3 Headley Grange of danger in race number 6.
Let's get to race number 7. It's going to be fascinating to see what they do. This horse, I think we've got to be a big watch on this 5-year-old gelding, who is favourite here, but whether or not he takes his place, he is also nommed at Flemington in race number 5 as well, over the 2,000, Benny.
Yeah, a bit of info. I think they are planning to come here. Hopefully it's not too wet. So Juju Kibo is the $2.40 favourite from Piggyback $5, and Federer is the one they'll keep in Melbourne. That's the plan from what I've heard so far.
If Juju Kibo comes out, we go back to my old favourite here, Dino. Surely Piggyback doesn't mind it wet.
Oh, Milo, I was thinking the same tune. I was happy for it to be here. It's all its grouse forms on dry decks. Yet to see a wet deck inside gate too. I think it's somewhat cast on that inside draw. Yes, we're taking on the fact that I'm hoping it doesn't handle the wet, but at $2.30, I think you sort of have the right to do that. Piggyback's the opposite. Saved from last week on a dry deck. They get their wish this week, wet deck, and it's going terrific. I think it's come back a much better horse. Rock hard fit. Drawn outside, I think it goes super. The stablemate Federer doesn't go a yard in the wet. There's a couple others here that you can take on. So I thought Piggyback was a good bet in this race, and I pray the 9 does turn up so we keep the grouse odds. Yeah, well, that's the trick. But like Benny said, a little bit of mail that Juju Kibo might be heading to Melbourne.
Yeah. Sorry. No, probably Federer is definitely staying in Melbourne. Yep. I reckon Juju will run in Sydney, but obviously if it's a heavy 10, they'll keep it here.
Well, that might be, I don't ever really want to lay that horse, but I think I can back Piggyback just because he looks like he's a proper horse. Let's go to race 8. Now, King of Rosso will come out of this race if he's not, is it this race?
I think it's the next one.
Oh, it's the next one. No, race number 8, that's right. This is wide open, this affair. This is a 1,400 metre BM78 for Bet365.
Yep, you might want to take the field just about in your quaddy, and obviously you'll get top-toed exotics Bet365 on Saturday. It's $4.80 the field from Just In Time.
Hey, Dino, I was sort of looking towards maybe the Richard and Will Freeman runner Rolling Magic and or the one Fully Lit for Gay Waterhouse. They're both going to be, $7 or $8 with 365, Benny?
Yep, about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I was leaning to the latter, Fully Lit. I think they maybe missed the trick, second or third up. They stayed at 12 mile and was a little bit disappointed. They went to 13, the fourth up, and it sort of found its feet somewhat again. Only 2.8 lengths off King of Russo we touched on before. That's the good form at the moment. Gate 6, and if you remember back, and I was a long year-old, we had a Pendus, a dead set wet tracker. So, the heavy hurts it. I had Fully Lit on top in a very, very tricky race. I think Benny hit the nail on the head. If you're playing quaddies, it's somewhat of a field event, Milo.
Just quickly, we just got confirmation then Wellwall will be running in Sydney.
Yeah, perfect. So I thought so. Good info, Milo.
Race number 9, straight off the press too. King of Rosso will come out of this race, so this will affect the market, Benny. But we had a really good push from Bjorn Baker earlier on Stable Mail, as War Eternal was his $100 play of the day. And normally when Bjorn mentions those at those odds, I'll tend to follow him in here.
Yeah, well, that's a big push. Just note as well, punters, with these deductions, horses coming out of races, etc., you will get a better price at Bet365, given we only deduct off the win portion of the stake, not the stake itself. So don't be afraid to take something early. Yoshinobu is $3.40 favourite here. King of Rosso is $4.20, obviously coming out. Novelist, $5.50. Bunker Hut, $7, along with the rest.
How much War Eternal?
You can currently get $19, so it hasn't really budged too much.
Yum, Dino.
Oh, it's always nice when a trainer tips you into a long price. Hopefully it lobs. He's been doing a good job at it, Bjorn, too. I think he gave us a couple across sort of the Scone Carnival as well. So do respect that opinion of Bjorn. The Novelist has tried up Super Boys. Gives away race fitness, though, and its profile suggests it's a dry decker. That's the same vein with Bunker Hut. He was outstanding first up, but he's a dead set dry trucker in my mind. Outside of that, Yoshinobu was terrific first up. Gelding in this prep. Gets Zach Lloyd aboard. Gate 8 reads well. Just the odds, I'm not sure I can take it. So at the odds, I thought the 11 Overriding has tried up super, likes a wet at a big price. Lent that way, have a shekel on the 11 Overriding in another tricky event in the quaddy legs.
Just make sure you've got the 5 Astero in your quaddy there for Matty Smith and Andrew Atkins. Absolutely. Let's get to race number 10. What's happening in the market here? This will be fascinating towards the end of the day over the 1100 here, Benny.
Roslyn Star is favourite, been supported, drawn the car park, but it might be the place to be, obviously, late in the day. Spywire needs another win. Rock Solid has been well back, 6 into $4.80, Hanau $7, and then $13 along with the rest.
Dino, I lent towards Spywire, but it's going to be a query with that track, but thought the 14 from Gate 14 and a little bit of weight relief, Anna Roper might be able to get it to the outside.
Yep, I think you hit the nail on the head. You look at the gates in this race, even the favourite, Rosalind Star, which I'll touch on in a second, 15, I looked and went, oh, ouch. And then you do the profile, gate race 10, that's probably the place to be compared to gate 1. So I thought Rosalind Star's trialling up exceptionally well has had a long way off, 483 days. If we remember back, it contested a kindergarten stakes in its last start, I'm pretty sure. So it was a really sharp 2-year-old. Times have been super. 3 trials too. So the camp obviously knows it's off a long way after getting it fit. Gate 15 has tactical speed, but handles the way. I think Rosalind Star's an outstanding bet in the last. Just hope it's not a bottomless 10. If it's a bottomless 10, I'm concerned. But yeah, on top, I thought Rosalind Star, race 10, number 7, was the best bet of the day.
All right, so Rosalind Star's your best bet of the day in the last. Well, then I don't need to ask where you're going to go with your Bet365 top 4 multi then, Dino. Is it going to be Rosalind Star in the last?
Yeah, we'll go Rosalind Star. I'd like to find a bit more premium odds, but we got 100 big odds last week, so I'll pick my battles tomorrow. I'll stick with race 10, number 7.
And any other plays you just want to mention before I let you go?
Yeah, race 6, number 8, it's a knockout. We'll get the grouse boost that Benny suggested. I think it's ready to win now too. So they're the 2. I know they're short enough, but tricky day. I thought those 2 bets were nice.
Yeah, I'm going to take it easy on wet decks, but just a small nibble Concordia wind each way, race 5, and a small nibble each way on race 9, number 3, War Eternal. Anything for you, Benny, up there you wanted to mention off the top?
I've given Rosehill a wide berth this week, to be honest.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart. Hey, Dino, I appreciate you jumping on this morning for the weekend preview, mate. We'll chat to you again tomorrow.
No, thanks, boys. Enjoy your day.
See you, mate.
Dean Watling there from deanwatling.com. Not far away from Mitch Lewis joining us as we run through the card at Flemington in the last half hour. I don't mind this off the text too. Who's a better athlete, Ben with his 52 touches in a game or Dean No-Shirt Watling with his rugby league? Don't mind these off the text. Got a few fans here, Benny, straight off the top anyway. And a few people mentioning Matty Morton gave the double out for Goodwood last night. Both won. One dead heated, funnily enough. But, yeah, what a bit of a mess that was with a pacemaker winning. What we might do is we might go to the news. We'll come back on the other side of this. We'll welcome in Mitch Lewis and we'll see if we can get this top 4 multi out and get some odds for you on the other side of this. All thanks to Bet365. Hey, guess what? In the first race at Flemington on Saturday, if your first bet doesn't win, you'll receive bet credits equal to your stake up to $30. That's because it's never ordinary at Bet365, subject to availability. Eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? Free and confidential support. gamblinghelponline.org.au. News.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News headlines. The list of countries to recognise a Palestinian state is growing. Canada has become the latest country to make the move, as Australia edges closer to a similar move. In Melbourne, Police Ethical Standards is investigating after a man was shot dead by an officer. Questions raised about Australian sanctions over Russia in light of its war with Ukraine after a tanker believed to be carrying fuel derived from Russian oil docked in WA. And a new survey has found over 40% of young people are feeling lonely. Up next, SEN Sport. After signing a contract tying him to the Hawks until 2032, on-baller Jai Newcomb has spoken to SEN. The 23-year-old says putting pen to paper provides him with great security.
Takes away, I guess, the pressures of being out of contract and skips that free agency window and everything that comes with that. So you get to focus on footy and playing well and what's important.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Back Miles Pfitzner, Ben Calusi, and now we're joined by one of the superstars of tipping. His name's Mitch Lewis. Hello, Mitchy baby.
Morning, Miles. Morning, Benny.
Morning, mate.
Hey, Top Tote Plus can be played Thursday, Friday and Saturday. If you like the Quinellas, Exactas, Trifectas, First Falls or Quaddies, this Saturday with Bet365, you'll be paid out at the highest national tote for all exotics at Flemington, Rosehill, Eagle Farm, Murray Bridge and Belmont. That is 45 races. If you're not good at maths, you can't count, because it's never ordinary. When it's brought to you by Bet365, selected meetings and eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Righto, we move to Flemington. What are you expecting at the track, Mitchie?
Typical Flemington, I suppose. Nice and even. Rail plus 10. What it's soft 6 now. Improving conditions. You think that start on a soft 5, hopefully. So, look, straight races, I think going out wide will probably be the key again, but you'll be able to win from any position. We haven't had it rail 10 for a year, but that doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't, especially this time of year.
9 and 11s, but not 10s. So randomly they put it at the 10.
Mate, what we're going to do, let's start from the top now. Look, money's going to be all about one horse. I'm going to do the bit of a feature next week, and I'm probably going to wait a little long, but this is one horse I think you just need to have in your black book and follow wherever it goes at some point. But 1,400, benchmark 70 to kick off here from an inside draw. Betty, what price are we getting with Bet365?
Currently $2.10 exit. Obviously, really impressive last start. Our Chief has been the one they've backed, though. $4.80 to $3.60. Crossbow should have won last start, $3.80. And, of course, as you mentioned, this is our money-back race. So up to $30, you could run second, you could run last, and you'll get your stake back in bet credits up to $30.
Mitchie, how are you seeing it? Look, I was talking to Paulie Sebastiani before. Crossbow's not the worst horse in this race, but I don't think Exit's one of those horses I'm going to put in my book. I'm just going to follow it for the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, any improvement Exit's got off its last start run, you'd sort of think it should be hard to beat. It and Crossbow ran similar figures last start, so they'll probably be close enough around the mark. And look, Exit hit the line almost 9 lengths quicker than all average last start, 1,300 metres. So second up to the 1,400 metres. I can see why it's favourite. I give it a chance, but feels like it's pretty short now in the market. So see if you can find any boosts or anything come Saturday.
Race number 2 over the 25:30 at Flemington on Saturday. Benny, I think there's going to be a stack of chances here.
Yeah, obviously Bold Soul plummets back down in the weights. $3.20 favourite this time from Muktabil, $5. Casino 17 for Gav Bedgood, $6.50, and so is Samuel Langhorne.
Mitchie, how are you seeing it?
Yeah, you almost bang your head doing the form with some of these sometimes. They take in turns that often. So Muktabil really good last time. Bold Soul obviously hard to miss. They're two that are right in it, but both coming down from 2,800 metres. It's not the worst. Sometimes I just like them slightly coming up. And I don't know if Casino 17 now, third up, fitter. The track's not going to be too wet, but he could be a good chance here. So tricky enough race, but between one of those three, maybe Casino at better value.
We move to race number 3 on the card at Flemington over the 1,200. A horse that, well, he was beaten by an enormous one last starting Lafraca. We speak of De Bergerac. I'm probably going to lean to De Bergerac here. I think he just got beaten by a real smarty last start. What price are we getting at 365, Benny?
Just in the last couple of hours, this has been smashed, sort of from north of $4 into $3.20 now with that straight track form. Epic Proportions was good. Sydney midweeks last start $5.50, and it's $11 and longer the rest.
Mitchie?
Yeah, you touched on it, Miles. The ride's probably what cost this horse last time. Look, he's drawn similar. He goes up in weight. I know that. What's he rising? Almost, is it 6 kilos? But drawn well again, down in class. If he runs up to what he did last start, he looks the one. So yeah, De Bergerac's on top for me.
Yeah, I think it might be one of the better ones of the day there. And it's the ride of Shin got him last time, not the ride on it.
Yes,
wasn't it?
Correct. He didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong. It was just got to cop
just copped a good one.
And I just want to mention one. Number 13, Alcuva, had absolutely no luck in that race last start. So $11, I reckon it's the big improver with a split.
If he gets a Shin special on that again, I absolutely vomit. Let's go to race number 4 here. It's over the 1,100 metres. I think you and I are going to line up on one here, Mitchie, and we might even be able to mention it off the top and maybe get that top 4 multi out. But looks a race between Documentary and Lose Some Win More, but I'm all about Lose Some Win More.
Yeah, market can't really separate them at the moment. Documentary $3.40, Lose Some Win More $3.50, South of India $6.50, and the one they've had a little nibble at is Call to Glory, $10 into $7.50.
Mitchie?
Yeah, documentary, a little bit stiff last start, obviously. But I've got nothing really to jump off Loose on Winmore for. Fastest last 600 of the meeting last start. Up in trip a little bit to, I think it's about 1,000-metre horse, but 1,100 metres, no huge concern for me. It's flying. Mark Zara on. I just think it sets up well again for a horse that loves the straight. So they're the two horses, but I'm leaning the way of Loose on Winmore.
Yep, me too. Happy to take on documentary. What we'll do, we're going to clear a break here. We're going to come back races 5 to 9 at Flemington, all thanks to the team at Bet365. The 6-horse challenge, of course, Thursday, Friday and Saturday went off last week. That's because it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365, subject to availability, eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? Free confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Lewis, Calusi, Pfitzner. They're hard to spell, but we get it done. Back right after this.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Gee whiz. It's not all doom and gloom. Welcome back. Miles Pfitzner, Ben Calusi, Mitch Lewis. All thanks to the team at Bet365. They're flying 6-horse challenge, Top Tote Plus, Mega Boost, stake back bet offer. You name it, they have it. It's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Gamble responsibly. Running low on time here, boys. Let's roar through it. Where were we up to?
Race 5, I reckon.
Race number 5, over the 2,000. Oh, I'm keen here. And it's not on the favourite here, Benny.
He's $4 into $3.50 Federer. Obviously, Juju Kaboo might be coming out in Aztec State, 2,000 metres Flemington. Looks a tick.
Mitchie, I'm all about Aztec State here. I had to get in before you did, mate.
I've got a feeling that we're going to have 3 best bets that are identical, so that's why I laugh.
Yeah, I think we are. But that's what happens when we talk all week and we do form the same. Happens.
Yeah, I know. I can hear Maeve laughing through the door as well, so she thinks we're funny.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Go on. Oh, well, Aztec State, third up now. Really good first up, obviously. Inclined to flatten out a little bit there, second up. But third up now, 2,000 metres. Won last time, third up, 2,000 at Caulfield, though. But looks to class 1 for me.
Tick, boom. I want Juju Kaboo to go to Sydney, and we can lay Federer. Race number 6. This is over the 1,400. It's all about one horse here.
Yeah, I reckon it could be a Rupert Clark Stakes horse, Zoo Sensation. It's $4.20 into $3.20. Cafe Millennium Rock Solid $5, and Greenfly also $7.50.
Mitchie, looks all about Zoo Sensation. I think you can back it and save Greenfly if you want.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I've got it on top. It's certainly the standout. I know the map is a little bit sticky. I just hate it when they get caught out wide, that 1,400 metre start. So there's not stacks of speed. You've got Run, Harry, Run, Go Forward, running by probably as well. And then it's only really harmonious Sonora with another bit of speed. So pray that you just sort of get to that midfield position with a little bit of cover or something like that. So got it on top, just slightly worried the race map. So not a best bet, but certainly a winning chance.
Let's go to the feature on the weekend, the Ori Star. Maybe run right through the market here, Benny, if you can, for Bet365.
Yep, the Group 3 over 1,200, splashback $2.60. Likely will be a Mega Boost horse, so obviously subject to change, but likely. King of Rousseau is $5 running here. Marble 9, $5.50. Miss Aria, $12. She Dances, $13. Bossy Nick, $15. And Joyful Fortune, $17.
Mitchie, I'm going to do something a bit unpopular here. I'm going to take on Splashback and take on Marble 9.
Yeah, I'm the same. So, well, not with Marble 9. I've got Marble 9 on top. Look, I just, track specialist, 2 out of 4, track and trip, loves the straight, drawn out wide, gets every chance. So he'll have to do the bulk of the work properly, but it looks the one for me that I like set up. And look, I just concede. I reckon Splashback's certainly the one with the most upside going forwards off those last 2 runs. 1,200 metres straight, first time. A little bit fresh. I just thought it's going to get better second or third up over a bit more ground. So, yeah, Marble 9 being the straight one for me, I'd give him the edge.
I think you've got to include him in the quaddie. King of Rosso's a good winning chance. I think this race is absolutely crazy. She Dances wouldn't shock me, but there's a couple down the bottom. Yeah, the couple down the bottom here. Joyful Fortune. I mean, that can do anything, especially here. And we know has plenty of upside. But I'm going to have a value play here of the Henry Dwyer runner and Harry Coffey in Cote Atlantique. And this will be its second run. I've got a big thing on internationals with their second run in Australia. It's how I like it, and I am with it. What price are we getting it?
41 into 29, so a couple agree.
Miles money.
There's a couple agree.
Yeah, I might have already had a little bit.
Just quickly, best back runners of the day. Splashback is one of them in race 7, and Exit. So in terms of weight of money, they're the 2 best back runners of the card at Flemington.
We've got about 2.5 minutes here. Race number 8 on the card. What's happening in the market here? This looks toughest of the day, nearly.
Yeah, one long day, and this is one long market. $4.60 from Outer Compton, $6, Far Flung, $8, long the rest.
Mitch?
Yeah, if you get sticky race maps, I thought out of Compton he's going along nicely. He's drawn well. If he gets to control the tempo out in front, I can't see any reason to jump off him. So leaning away out of Compton.
Yeah, Pudding, Hill Rip, El Salado, Angry Skies wouldn't shock me. Hard to cross the same. This is a field race if I've ever seen it. Race number 9 on the card, though. This is $5 the field. It'll be fascinating to see where you go here, Mitchie. But, Benny, what's happening in the market?
Blake Shin on Stylish is $4.80 favourite. Hasn't moved from 10 deep, $5. Illy Ivy, $7. And also Eagle Express, $7.
Mitchie, I'm going to have a little each way bet on the 9, Illy Ivy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, look, I've thrown it in there as well. I thought Stylish, probably a good chance, just a little bit fresh off, met some of these horses in that Miss Tarzi race that was the form reference last time. So I think Stylish sets up well enough, just sticky from that barrier. And the same for Jazaffair. I don't think she's a double-figure chance, but she'll have to go back from 14 with a lightweight. 10 deep, one of ours, Miles, is drawn wide as well. It just makes it hard. So, and I want to throw in my quaddy. I'm going to throw in the 3, Electric Bell, just in case here. Not a good first-up performer, but I think the horse has something to give at her best. And maybe she can just pull it off with Damien Lane in the saddle first up.
Hey, let's get to your best bets first of all. They're at Flemington.
So race 3, number 6, the Burger Act. Race 4, number 2, Lose Some, Win More. And race 5, number 1, Aztec State. So I'm going to be backing Aztec State each way if the market allows me.
Yeah, I'm going to copy you. Benny, how do you see that? You'll have 1 or 2 here at Flemington.
I like Aztec State as well.
Yep.
But race 6 got to be Zoo Sensation. As I said, I reckon it could be a Rupert Clark Stakes horse. Hopefully he gets a good map and splashback. I reckon I'll be with.
Yeah, if we get some good conditions, it could be a good day for the punters.
Hopefully.
Hey, Mitchie, your top 4 horse, your top 4 place multi-horse.
I'm just going to continue to chip away in the winter months with these easier ones and just throw Loose Some, Win More in as mine.
I'm going a bit rogue here. So Dean Watling's gone with race 10, number 7, Rosalind Star at Sydney.
Real Gareth areas going rogue.
You've gone race 4, number 2, Lose Some, Win More. Benny, your top 4 multi, which will go up tomorrow or closer to the weekend?
I've got to stick with race 6, number 8, Zoo Sensation.
Yeah, might go up the Savo. Well, guess where I'm going? And you might like this, Benny. I'm going to Eagle Farm.
Yes.
Race 9, number 13, Perellier or Perel. First start for Tony Gollan, ex-James Cummings. It will run in the top 4 up there in the last race at Eagle Farm. So up to Eagle Farm we go. That'll go up this afternoon, the top 4 multi. Hey, outside of that, boys, do we need anything else? Anything else you want to mention? Wider? Mitchie, have you had a good look, Murray Bridge?
Yeah, look, race 5, I want to have a little each-way play on the 9, Super Alana. I think she's ready to go third up. Good win beating Deep Float Diva last start. So I like her chances there.
Yep.
And race 6, fascinating watch on the 4, Cash for Michael Hickmott resumes his $1.1 million horse in a pretty average BM64.
I'll have him on the show tomorrow. Mitchie, appreciate your time, mate.
Thanks, boys. Good luck listening.
Mitch Lewis there. Benny, appreciate you coming in, mate. All thanks to Bet365. I've got a Mega Boost today, a top 4 multi, and don't forget we've got Mega Boost horses on Saturday.
Absolutely. And go as Fura tomorrow night at Goodwood.
Appreciate you as always, as we appreciate Bet365. Mega Boost available, selected runners. Last break, come back and wrap the show on the other side of this.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back. That's all we had time for on Giddy Up for Gareth Hall. Massive, massive show. To be perfectly honest, I'm a bit knackered. Miles Pfitzner with you. A lot of these are going to go up via our social media. You can catch a show via any of the podcasts, all of course. Also, Tippers and Clippers coming up. Pete Anthony's to join me. I'm going to go get a haircut with him. He hasn't had a haircut in 5 years, so it should be a fascinating edition of Tippers and Clippers thanks to Tyre Power. Now, the top four multi for Bet365 will go up this afternoon. Dean Watling, Rosalind Starr, Mitch Lewis, Lose Some Win More, Ben Calusi, Zoo Sensation, M. Pfitzner, Perrellier. That's how you say it? Don't forget tomorrow, Michael Hickmott, I'm going to try to get on tomorrow. I haven't messaged him yet, but he'll be tuning in. So, Michael, we want you tomorrow. Stack of other guests. Do a bit more Darwin Cup, bit more of the weekend. You name it, we have it. Louis a gun. See you soon.